Pickaxe.
5, 4, 3, 2, live! Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 911 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast, our 4th of July special. Of course, it's Canada Day as well. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison. Well, we have a Canadian with us, Matt, you, so we had to talk about Canada.
4th of July.
Yes, Matt, you're
Yes,
here.
it is.
Literally July 1st. It's literally Canada Day.
Yeah, but we've got
What do
our
you mean?
4th of July
I guess
this
this is
weekend.
the
We don't have a
show.
show, so this is it, okay? We've got a fun show.
right.
What is kazoo music, John?
Kazoo?
Yeah,
This is
what
good
it?
shit.
All right, so joining us, Matt, because we're going to talk about Death Stranding, one of Matt's favorite games.
Yes.
The sequel came out, and I'm
Yes.
excited to hear what both of you guys thought about it, because you guys played, so we're going to get into that in a bit. We've got a big, fun show with festive games, hopefully, or something to fit the theme. John? You know, I don't like this music. I don't like the fireworks sound effects. I don't like any of it.
This is a
I don't-
party, right, Matt?
It's not.
Matt, are you
We-
having
we
hot
just
dogs?
lost our listeners.
What are you doing
I
up
feel
there?
like-
Huh?
I don't know. I feel like this is a horror movie setup. Like, this is
Yeah.
before, like, the things attack.
Right. Everything was perfect
is
in the
ominous.
small
Yeah.
town.
But it is also
lights go
episode
off suddenly.
911. So to honor that, we're giving away a copy of The Precinct, which, John, you really like that game where you play as a cop or whatever. We're giving
I
that
did
away
like
from
that
CD
game.
Keys in
I think
our
Matt was
Discord.
here when we talked about that. Was you here?
I did. Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
I played the demo, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
It's like an indie darling. A lot of people love that, to use one of Matt's terms. A lot of people love that game. Thank you for subbing, Pongo and Kane. So, of course, we are live right now on twitch.tv/John and Michelle. We do it every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m.
But
Eastern.
my
If
dogs
you
are
miss
getting
it,
nervous.
I know. You can listen anywhere podcasts are, but a good place to support us is in our Discord. You get the weekly bonus shows, the 20-year back catalog, and you also get private chat rooms with John and I, and extra entries to contests from CD Keys. So, like I said, this week it's The Precinct. Next week we've got our Weeb show. We'll be giving away Metaphor Fantasio. So we're doing fun stuff all the time in our Discord. Come on down and say hi. Okay, so Matt's back. How
Matt's
have
back.
you been? What have we missed? Anything?
Oh, boy. Well, you guys... no, it's not too much.
Same
I'm
old
on a
thing.
video game. I've been promoting my video game, Ember and Blade.
Oh, nice.
It's being
Congrats.
developed as we speak.
Mhm.
I'm a demon hunter. I'm play the main character. It's going to be fun. It's a Ryan Reynolds-y type character.
Ember, was it? Ember Blade?
Ember and Blade.
Oh, Ember and Blade. And you play the Blade?
I play both the Ember and Blade. His name is Fenrix.
Oh.
He's a dragon slayer. He's a demon slayer. He's a wise ass demon slayer who's been granted immortality. He plays like a Hades.
Oh, I like those
Diablo
types of
meets
games.
Hades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a
ARPG
top-down-
roguelike, top-down isometric.
Sure, I
It's
think it'd be more
Hades-like?
actiony. It's like you're taking on big hordes of monsters using an increasing inventory of tools and spells and stuff like that. So
Well, you're just the voice actor. You
looks
don't have
really
to know
interesting.
how the game works. But yeah, so, well, hopefully, I
haven't
don't know.
played it yet.
Now, when you
Have
do
them
this
get us
voice
these.
acting,
We'll
Matt,
review
do you
it.
go into a studio, you put the motion cap on, you're
Yeah, you
you're
got
in
the
front of
balls on your
a
face.
screen.
Balls all over my face.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we've all been.
Is that how it works in the
Yeah.
in the big
that's-
leagues that
this
you're
is
in?
motion.
No,
I'm not in those big leagues. I'm not Troy Baker level.
you're not like in a room and
but I'm
on
in
the
a studio.
screen they show the game to inspire you
do.
and stuff. Oh,
they do actually.
Okay.
And then the developers are in South Korea, so they're
Oh.
watching,
Okay,
and, like directing and stuff like that.
they're
So that's
watching
really
you.
cool. Yeah, it's intimidating.
Oh.
Really?
Wow.
It's
A
like a
live
James
watch.
Bond
Yeah, there's
movie
like-
or something.
What? Yeah, it's like a big Zoom call with 6 people watching you.
Get out of here!
know.
Boy.
Well, yeah, it's weird.
How do they
It's fun.
find
It's
you?
fun. I auditioned for it.
They're not recording you on Zoom quality mic, though, right? They're just hit record on
No,
a
no,
Zoom
no.
meeting.
I'm in an actual studio, and the
Okay.
studio's pumping in the Zoom.
That's
feed.
funny.
But
Well,
yeah,
at
no,
least
it's a cool
They're
experience.
there to
so
give you
check it out
direction. That
when it
sounds
comes out.
fun. Yeah. So check that out.
Yeah,
And
they're very
I don't know when
encouraging.
it's coming out, but
So these people are you said are in North
2025.
Korea and they're watching you? Like,
South
South
Korea. It's
Korea.
very
Oh,
important we say
oh.
South Korean
yeah,
developers.
let's not get mad at the developers in trouble.
Don't want to be associated.
No. All right. Well, I don't know.
well,
We've
that's
got a
big
lot of
news that
ground
Matt's
to
doing a
cover.
North Korean game. I didn't
Yeah,
know. I
that's
wasn't
gonna be
expecting
great.
that.
Also, I'm gonna go.
What?
I just wanted to push the video game. So thanks for
Were
having
you
me on.
expecting that?
Uh,
Michelle?
Well, where's our
Death Stranding's an
little
awesome game.
fee for this, Matt? We didn't get paid. So Dark Side Gun in the chat says,
Hmm.
I miss Matt and John arguing every episode.
Oh no.
Yeah. Maybe tonight they'll argue over Death Stranding too, because they are going to talk about that. I'm
No,
staying out of
actually,
it.
I
No,
have-
he's gonna love it.
I have a lot of questions for Matt about Death Stranding.
All right, good.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah. So anything else?
Can I make a
before we
helicopter?
move in? No.
I hope so. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
All right.
I don't see
All
why
right. What
not.
else? You ready to just get this going?
Yeah.
Just move along.
Matt,
It's a big-
have you been here since the Switch 2 came out? I forgot.
What, live? Like, what do you mean? Like, listen?
Have you been
Has
on
he been
VGO
here? Has he
since?
been on Earth? Like, what?
I
Live?
just got born.
No.
I haven't been on VGO. No. So, how's that one game going?
Yeah.
Well,
Are
See?
you still playing it? Yeah.
what about the big game that's coming out like in 2 weeks?
What's that one?
The one made by
Metroid?
the Odyssey team?
The Donkey Kong. I'm interested in that. I would like to see how that plays out.
Did you see the previews for it? You have like the girl on your back yelling and she breaks walls and
With
It's-
words.
Yeah, with
She's
words.
on your
Kind of
back
annoying.
Yeah.
throwing words at you, and
Yeah.
you're just
Well, a
your-
woman's
yeah,
made
your
up and
morale
her
is getting
Yeah.
less and less over
Right.
time.
Can you
And then
beat her?
eventually, you just slit your wrist.
just-
And by the end,
It's the
It's a fun
bleakest
game.
Nintendo game to date. It's Donkey Kong just puts her down and just sighs and he doesn't move for the
Well, he
Um,
dates her later, right? And now she's like groomed
no, he doesn't
her.
date her. He kidnaps her, and then Mario has to save her.
Yeah, but I thought they dated at one point, and now he's like
What?
grooming her.
Mario's
He's like
not in this
15
game.
years older than her. It's creepy.
No, this is like
Oh, I see. This is the prequel.
Pauline is
it's a
a young
prequel.
girl in this.
Ah, that's weird.
Yeah,
Okay,
isn't it?
and she's on
Really
his
weird.
back
Yeah,
throwing words around.
And he's clearly kidnapped her to like.
And then he
make her his
kidnaps her
bride
in the arcade game,
Jump.
and then
I think
Mario
in this game she
saves.
kidnaps him. She jumped on his back and she's yelling. I don't think he wants to be there. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited to hear about that game.
Why can't
I
he
didn't
just
get a
be
Switch
normal?
2. John and Rye did, so they'll be covering that in the coming weeks.
course.
And we have our Mario Kart contest, our Mario Kart Cup going on in the Discord. So head on down there and sign up. There's still slots to play. There are prizes. You get a Nintendo gift card. You get Discord subs. You get all sorts of stuff if you want to play in that. It happens July 6th on Sunday. John's going to be there 4 o'clock Eastern.
I am.
Yeah, you are. Ryan's
I'm
going
not
to play.
set up for this with the
You're
Switch.
fine. Ryan's streaming. All you're going to do is play. You just got to play
can I
Mario
just go
Kart.
on my deck and
Yes,
just play on Wi-Fi?
that's right.
All right.
So you're going to play. If you want to play, you want to win, come on down to Discord and sign up for the Mario Kart contest.
Listen,
All right, let's.
Spanko's mad because I didn't paint my deck.
Yeah, what happened with that last week? Because he sponsored the show for you to paint your deck.
It's rained every fucking other day here.
That sounds like an excuse.
I lost power
Did you ever
before
hear
the
a
show.
tarp? You could have set up a tarp above it.
Yeah.
He'll paint it. Don't worry, and he'll post the pictures in Discord for you.
I need 3 days of no rain.
You need a dry deck for. Yeah, that's true. Or else it goes to shit.
Don't defend him. Happy Canada Day, Tiger.
That's
Welcome.
true, though, Michelle. I can't defy the facts.
You got to fight with him today. So yeah, it's our 4th of July show. We'll see what we pulled out. Now, for me, let's jump into the 10-second spotlight because it is episode 911, and I wanted to play something like that would represent that because I couldn't find a good 4th of July game, and I didn't just want to play a game where you like rode an eagle or something like John always does. Well, it's 4th of July game. There's an eagle in it. I'm sure he did that tonight. So anyway, there was like this buzz about this game called Dispatch, and it already has 500,000 wish lists on Steam because of this demo. So it's a superhero dispatcher strategy game. It's actually kind of interesting, but you play as Robert. He's like a fallen superhero because he lost his suit. And I want to say, like, if you lost your suit and you're like useless, are you really a superhero? I guess yes.
Just a
'cause maybe
dude.
you're just a dude, but I mean, Batman was kind of just a dude or whatever.
Clark Kent, I mean,
Yeah, no, Superman has powers without a suit. He's like
you
an
sure?
alien god.
Bruce
What do
Wayne
you mean?
is just a dude.
Yeah. So anyway, so you lose your suit and you're
Rich
sentenced to like work at a dispatcher
Stark.
office with all these other rejects. So basically, you know, it's like an animated series. It's a lot of cutscenes. I could see some people really liking this. Matt, it has that Marvel quirky humor. I feel like you might be entertained by this, like with your kids or something. Like sit down, watch this, and play
I feel
this.
like you're an idiot who likes
No,
this.
you like this stuff. I mean, look, I'm going to watch the new
I know.
movie that just hit streaming. What is it called? That new one just came out. So I watched them too.
Thunderbolts?
Yeah, Thunderbolts just came out to streaming. So
I
yeah,
mean,
anyway,
I'm totally gonna watch that for sure.
the actual gameplay is like you're at a console and you're listening to these superheroes kibitz with each other. There's a lot of just if you want to feel like you're on Discord with a group of people and you're trying to fit in and like you want superhero friends, I really recommend this game. If you don't want that, and you're like me, you may find it annoying. But what you do is it's like, there's a kid's balloon stuck in a tree. You need to find the right superhero to send out for that. They have to have this quality. Make sure they don't scare the kid. And I'm like, you're having me rescue a balloon in a tree? Like, what?
Like a waste
it's
of
a waste of a
resources.
superhero, right? It's not even like a cat in a tree. So you're doing all this stuff, but whatever. There's like
Taxpayers' money.
there's a mayor's ball and they want security. So you're picking and choosing different superheroes on this map to send out and do all this stuff. So people apparently love this. Like I said, they played the demo. They went apeshit for it. 500,000 wish list, like going to be very popular, I think, when it comes out this year. For me, I felt like it wasn't enough gameplay. And the gameplay that was there, I still felt like was a lot of listening to people talk. And
now, is this actual animated or is it static?
Yeah, it's animated. Yeah, that was impressive.
Like just to picture their face.
Because it looks,
it's fully animated.
It
It's
looks
animated.
kind of like 80s Saturday morning cartoon.
I love the way it looked. I think if you want to sit down and watch like a really
Looks legit.
cool kind of legit animated series with a little bit of gameplay, I can see why it's popular. But I would have had to love the gameplay to sit through the cutscenes. But I didn't love the gameplay. It was just, once again, like these people talking back and forth with like this snark, like, yeah, up in a tree, I better not go, you know, like all stupid, like I can't even think of the jokes, but like it just feels like you're in on a conversation, like listening to people talk too much. And I wanted to smash these people in the face. I was like, I don't like this. They're annoying. They're annoying the shit out of me. But you may want to check out Dispatch. There's a demo. People do seem to be excited for it. And I guess it's because of the animation. Like it does look real. Like it looks like something you could watch on Amazon as like Invincible or something, or, you know, it looks like it's up to snuff with a quality real animated series. Oh, it's former Telltale.
It's impressive though that they animated it to that degree.
Tiger says. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're into that and you don't mind light gameplay at a console and you want to kind of feel like you have superhero friends, definitely check that out. All right. So they did send me a key for Oceanhorn Chronos Dungeon. So I remember the first time we ever talked about Oceanhorn, it was like a mobile game that was supposed to be a Zelda killer. Do you remember, John?
It was on Apple TV. That's why.
Well, it was also just on iOS, right? Just on phones and tablets.
But I think it was one of the early playable Apple TV games.
Maybe Oceanhorn 2. There was Oceanhorn 1, 2.
Oh, I think it was also Oceanhorn 2 was the
2.
was the
and I remember
Apple
Matt
TV.
McCarthy came to you and he said, this is like Zelda, whatever. So anyway, this game is a little bit different. So it's set like where I have a couple of complaints about it though, because it's a co-op game and you can only play local co-op. There's no online co-op, which is weird to me because I don't know why they didn't implement that. Maybe because it is like a mobile PC crossover, but a lot of other games are, and they have online co-op play. So you can really only play alone unless you have people in your house with you playing. So it's a bunch of basically like a dungeon crawler where you have 4 classes that you can put stats into. You could only control one at once, obviously, because it's supposed to be other players that play the others. And so you can swap around to them, but they don't follow you and like attack on their own. It's just you swapping between these 4 characters. It's only like $7, but I did like a lot about it. Like it has cute pixel art. I like the dungeon crawling. I like the fighting. There was no key rebinds on it. Like enter was attack, and I didn't really want to use a controller. But like, yeah, it was weird. Like they kind of just like put this out on Steam, but they didn't like do any. They didn't give key bindings. They didn't do online multiplayer. Like this could have been really fun online multiplayer. Like it felt like old school Gauntlet or something, you know what I mean? Even though the perspective is a little different. So yeah, cute art, cute world, was ready to play. And I'm like, okay, well, if I can't play this with people and I have to control all of the characters at once and just swap through them, I don't really know if I want to do this. But that's Oceanhorn Chronos Dungeon, set 200 years after Oceanhorn 2. So I did want to mention it at least. But honestly, all of my time last week was spent playing Dune Awakening. I know I talked to you, John, about I was going hemming and hawing about if I should play more or wait till it's done. Super into it. They have a 10-year plan with the game, and I feel like it could take you 10 years to finish this game. And I have been playing tons. I'm in the middle of building the helicopter right now, or the Omnicopter. It took us forever to
John's ears
move our base again, because you have to keep moving your base and you have to load up the buggy and go to these harsh worlds. And yeah, I mean, the game is insane. It's intense. I almost wish sometimes it was a regular MMO that felt a bit more like Star Wars, The Old Republic, where there were more story-driven quests with like, you know, where it was a little peaceful. The survival craft is there, and I like survival crafts, but they go hard with the survival craftness. I feel like they lost a huge audience by doubling down on that so hard. They could have had also another way to play, like when you do your class quests, like maybe it was a little more, I don't know, accessible or less survival crafty. I
what you're
think
saying?
for
Like, maybe
me,
just
it's for
take the
me, it's like
pedal
okay,
off
but
a
I'm
little?
like, this is going to discourage a lot of people. Like, you better be a hardcore survival craft player to play this game, or like, it is not chill, it is not relaxing, it is not forgiving. Traversing the environment at all times is always a pain in the ass. I know I've heard it gets different once you make your chopper, but yeah, I just feel like, look, they don't need my advice because the game's kind of a success, right? Sold millions of copies. They've got a 10-year plan, but I feel like if they were going to do anything in the future as they're refining this game, I think they should add like some sort of server settings where people could go have a casual experience if they wanted. Because it's like, I know, John, you played, and I feel like there's no way in hell you will ever make a chopper. And it's like, but I know you would love it if you could. And I just know you won't get there. And that's what kind of like, same thing with my sister.
I'm not
I showed it.
Okay.
You'll never do it. Trust me. Someone in our guild can give you one, but like, I know you'll never do it. You have no clue what it takes, right?
If you get the reputation up with the right, yes, you can. You could buy it.
Right, you can buy it, but how are you going to store it at your base without pentashields? No, you're going to have aluminum to craft those. No, you're not. Or steel. So it's not just buying the chopper that's the issue. It's being able to
you know
store
what?
it safely.
I take offense to that because my experience with this game so far is love.
Of course, it's love for the first couple of hours, but you have no clue how harsh this world is and gets and how to progress.
It's fine.
Look, I will give you
if you want to talk about it, we can.
Craft your base and build.
I mean, listen. I'm playing with a friend.
Yeah, it's still never going to happen. That's what I was saying. Like, that's what bothers me because, like, I showed my sister too, and she loves crafting and collecting and doing this stuff. And she quit after a couple of hours because she got to the point where she was like, I'm thirsty. Like, I'm like, okay, then you won't be able to handle the rest of it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I love the game. I like it for what it is. It's not perfect, but I feel like there's so much more potential with a Dune MMO than just pigeonholing themselves into this hardcore survival craft. And there was an article written, I forget where, but they said it's like trying to be 3 games in one. It has this BioWare kind of choose your dialogue, questing kind of, interesting story thing going on. At the same time, it's a hardcore survival craft. At the same time, it's almost like open world, like an MMO, trying to put your points in and do that sort of stuff. Too much sand, Kane says. So yeah, for me, I think like people keep asking me, would they like it? I'm like, because they like MMOs. I think Badger, you were asking me about it. You're like, I like MMOs. Would I like this? I'm like, well, you better like survival crafts because at its core, pretend it's not an MMO. Just tell yourself it's a hardcore survival craft. And that's what Dune Awakening is. So go ahead.
How quickly do you get onto a sandworm? Like, is that a big part of the game?
I don't know if you can ride them yet.
Get
but
on it or ride the one. Oh,
yeah, you can you can ride them.
Because that's all I want to do.
You can ride them just like you can in the movies. I don't think that's in the game yet. They have 4 DLCs planned already. Like I said, there's a 10-year plan. Of course, the next Dune movie is coming out in a year and a half or whatever. So, that's only going to give the game more popularity.
They're actually going through with that.
Yeah, I believe Denis just started filming this summer, and then it's supposed to come out by Christmas 2026. I mean, that's the plan, which is also the same date that Doomsday, the new Avengers thing, is due, but people are saying it might be like Doomsday, like a Barbenheimer type shit going on with like a double big movie release. But yeah, I'm excited for the 3rd Dune movie. And I know, John, I've been telling you, I kind of gave you a requirement. I said, if you're going to play this game, you have got to watch the Dune movies. So I want to find out about your thoughts and everything, and I'll hand it over to you. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, and I am just drinking quickly a summer berry lemonade refresher from Starbucks. It's red, white, and blue. It has these like sugary balls in the drink filled with like raspberry poppers. It's supposed to look like boba, but it's not tapioca. There's a lot of balls on faces today. It's kind of weird. It's like lemonade, but there's like raspberry balls floating in it. I just thought it looked pretty, but it looks prettier than it tastes.
Can you eat those balls?
You can. Yeah, they're like little. They're like raspberry sugary kind of thing. I wanted to smash them up and put them in this lemonade, but I'm just like kind of drinking around them. It's kind of like a fisheye or something. Like it's kind of grossing me out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm a texture. It's just weird.
Orbs.
Yeah, I don't want like floating ball. But I mean, it looks really pretty if you look it up. It's called the. Or here's the thing. I'll paste in Twitch. All right, John. So let me hand this over to you. Take us back to the beginning with your experience with everything.
Well, yes. So I got the game, and I'm like, I'm not playing this till I watch the movies, and you agreed.
I agree.
And so I invested over 6 hours of my life with pausing and bathroom breaks to watch the first 2 movies.
Good.
And I have to say, I never pursued this, and I don't want to rehash this again, but I'll do it quickly. When I was a kid, anything that was not Star Wars was dumb to me. Okay,
But
even
Star
Trek.
Copied them. The book, Frank Herbert's Dune, was like
Sure,
the original
sure.
sci-fi. For
But
that.
there was like a lot of cash grab stuff after Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
to get science fiction things out there. And that's how it felt to me. Like I had a friend, I said it before, who had the Dune toys, and I went to his house, and like, what the fuck is this shit? You know? Where's Boba Fett? You know?
Right.
But so I never pursued it. And of course, there was an 80s movie with Sting that I've talked about before. So anyway,
Yes.
it had that taint on it for me. And then, so I went into this not really expecting a lot. I thought, I'm like with science fiction stuff, I'm very sensitive
But
with
you
like
do know the
monsters
director
and
did
ships.
the new Blade Runner.
Yeah, I know.
Did the
I
Arrival,
understand that. Yeah.
Did
But
Dune.
I'm very sensitive with some science fiction stuff. I don't like weird monster creatures and weird ships and bad looking robots. It's just the way I am. Okay. There's a certain aesthetic I like.
Well, his interpretation of it was more grounded, so you were probably pleased.
Exactly. I like stuff that's more grounded. That's
Yeah.
a much simpler way of saying what I just said. So, but
Yeah, but that wouldn't be a John way. We like your way.
yeah. So anyway, holy fuck, that first movie surprised the fuck out of me. Like, oh my God, I was sucked into it immediately. I love the story, all the backstabbing, all the politics going on in the background, and like all this shit. You know, it was just like a lot of
Jesuit.
yeah, all that the
Evil.
yes. All that stuff, all the political shit, like I just loved all of it, and I was paying attention so fucking hard. I wanted to understand everything, and then I watched the second movie like a couple days later. I have to admit, I didn't like it as much. The story, I just didn't. I thought it was a little not as interesting as the first one. And then after that, of course, I'm gonna play the game. So my friend Matt McCarthy also had the game. I said we're playing this, and so the other night we spent 4 hours playing this fucking game, and I didn't really know what I was getting into with the game at all, but I had all the movie stuff fresh in my head.
Good.
And I gotta say, Michelle, what I played, and Matt agrees, we fucking loved. Holy fuck, we loved it. And like,
Yes,
so
I agree. The beginning couple of hours are very addicting.
yeah, like we got quests. We're going around. We're building bases, and then it was really funny though because So I started playing like an hour before him, and I made my character and had a base going and all that. And then he gets into the game, and he spawns like all the way on the other side of the fucking starting zone from me, right? I'm like, dude, you got to come over here. I got a fucking base. We'll hook up, and then we'll do the quest line stuff, you know? So he's trying to get to me, and he keeps dying and dying. Fucking worms, fucking guys in the sky shooting him.
The
He's like, what
Sardaukar
the
in the sky. Yeah, the worms
He's
are
like,
out there.
fuck this game. I'm like, dude, just, and I'm like, I'm like, there's fucking worms. So then he finally gets to me. I started meeting him kind of halfway. And I'm just sharing my experience because it was a really fun night, okay? And then,
Good.
so he gets to the part, he catches up to me where he has to build a base. He builds a base next to me. We have bases next to each other. It's very awesome,
Cute.
Michelle.
You can be co-owners of the same base too, though. if you'd like.
Initially you can't. You got to build your own first because of quest.
You don't. You just interact with it. You don't have to.
I know
build your own.
you. I understand the ownership thing, but So then we're like we're equal now. We're all caught up with the quests and all that, and then now we have. But here's the thing too. He comes over to me and he starts trying to get further away from me to build his base. I'm like, dude, you can't go out there to build a fucking base. You got to stay close to the
Be by the
rocks.
rocks.
His independence.
And he's like, no. He's like, shut
Has he
up.
ever
This is
seen
fine.
Dune? Does he know about?
I'm like, Matt.
Did he dance on the sand?
I go,
Was he
Matt.
going,
So I'm like, Matt, is there a squiggly line? Is there a squiggly line? Squiggly line bad. Don't build when there's a squiggly line. Shut up. It's fine. I'm not that far away from you. So he builds his fucking base. Right. And the whole time I'm going, Matt, don't put it there. You got to get closer to me. And then of course a fucking worm comes and eats his entire fucking base.
That's funny.
And it was like, I told you,
you get
dumb
a worm
fuck.
tooth though. You can make the blade later, which is a one-time use.
Well,
so save those worm
he's got one already. Yeah.
Good.
So he builds the base, and now we have another mission all the way on the other side of the map, and then. So we do that. We're going. This is what's so cool about the game, Matt. Like at least where I am right now in the beginning, the first few hours of it. You know, you have all this. I mean, it's like the movie too. It's all this sand, all these rock structures. You're trying to figure out the best way to go from A to B.
Yep.
It's like, this is too far. I don't like how this feels.
Quest line?
Yes,
there's quest lines to
yeah.
follow. And John, like, you're going to make your bike pretty soon, and there's bike boosters, and there's big cities, like you can go to Harco Village. The cities are going to remind you of WoW. I just found the auction house today. I was buying and trading.
Yeah.
There's little trade posts that you can fly, but they cost money to do. But when you get eaten by the worm, Matt, you lose everything, all of your money, everything you have on you.
I haven't died yet, surprisingly, by the way.
So
and
I'm so keep stuff on
I'm
you.
so paranoid. But this is our strategy now. So we abandoned our original bases, and then we went 20 minutes down the road, and we built a new base that we now share, and that's our little hub. And now we're branching out. But I love the abilities. I'm playing the trooper. I think his abilities are very satisfying. He has like this glide grenade that I fucking love. The gunplay feels good enough. It's like third person.
Yep.
It's like dark guns and shit. I'm hoping I can build a sniper rifle at some point.
Yeah, you'll find them. There's weapons fabricators later. But the thing is, you can unlock all of the classes. There's going to be 2 in the starting zone, like the planetologist. So you can combine like all 5 of these classes and put points into spread them all around, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
They do recommend starting out as the Bene Gesserit or a Mendat because they're like the harder ones to unlock. But like, I don't know. I'm having a good time with that whole class system, John. They all have their own quest lines and everything.
I like it quite a bit.
Hard. They're hard and they're all over the world. Like, so it's crazy to say, wait till you get a helicopter.
So yeah, I know we're looking at like the abilities that we can unlock. Like I want the fucking suit that makes its own fucking water. Like I have the blueprint in there. Like I'm still trying to understand. Both of us are still trying to understand all the points that go into that shit. The tokens
you did a locked
you have to use.
research tree, right? Because it's a guided
the tokens.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
so
the tokens and stuff. The token unlocks.
Yeah, the research tree. Just unlock it as they tell you. Don't like just willy-nilly put points around. Just kind of do what they tell you. Like they'll
No, I'm
hold your
doing
hand
that.
for the first
I'm
10
saying
hours.
like if I go into like my I forgot the menu and then what it was called, but I have the suit in my menu to.
So that is going to be a schematic that you can learn in your base.
Yes,
and
I
it'll
have
give
that.
you a one-time license for it where you can craft that once. If it's a unique, it'll be purple and you can only craft that once.
I
like
found
the
a purple
UI and if the game is very like obtuse and complicated for no reason, like it is a little bit redundant. And I feel like they need to polish it up. But like I said, I think that there's a lot here that's good, but I do feel like it's going to deter a lot of people because of the ramp on it.
What we played is we're only doing PvE stuff, and so far the combat's fucking really simple. But like,
it'll get
I'm
tough.
sure. I know. I'm sure
it's eventually though, and you'll
I'm
break
sure it's gonna
shields
get hard. We've broken guys' shields. We've attacked the blue people.
Yeah, it'll ramp up. But I
sure
do
it's
like
going
the game
to.
overall. I do.
Well, what's really making it fun was Matt and I playing together, and the first hour I played by myself, I was on edge because I just didn't know what to expect, and then I realized, the combat's not, at least in the beginning. I'm like, this isn't hard at all.
You gotta
but
go
I was
into the
like
dungeons.
on edge.
So there's like dungeons, they'll be marked on your map, John. Those are where the combat can get a little rough. There's a lot of people around you at once. But I think with him, you'll have a good time in the dungeons.
Yeah, and then Matt, basically, you can't be in the sun for too long. You constantly find shade. You're constantly running out of water. You drain the blood out of the bad guys, and then you filter it in your base.
You're playing as the Sand People, right? You're playing as
Freeman.
Not necessarily Freeman. You can you can play as all the different races and all the different classes, like from the movies. And I think they did a great job adapting that.
What are they called? Paul's World. I'm that whatever that is.
Atreides. Yeah, I'm Bene Gesserit. So I hope I want to unlock.
Can
some cool
you play
cosmetics.
the bad guys?
Yeah, you can be Harkonnen. So
the House Atreides or Harkonnen, yeah.
Yep, Harkonnen or Atreides are the first 2 factions in the game. You can choose like in probably another 15 hours from John or 10 hours from John. You'll get to choose a house and you start doing quests for them. And then you can visit their cities, which is more like John's gonna be like, oh my god, it's like Stormwind City. If you ever get there, you can fly there for 2,500 gold or whatever the hell the currency is in the game. But yeah, I mean, it's complicated. I hope you guys stick with it, John, because I think you guys would find it very rewarding playing together. Because if you like Gray Zone and you like those challenges and going far places and traveling for hours, you can do that.
I love it. I actually love the grappling hook and the platforming aspects of it.
Yep. You got to scout areas, climb to the top of the mountain, scout. Do like Assassin's
binoculars.
Creed
you can mark shit and
you shoot the orbs into the air. They're gonna handhold you for a while though, unlocking all of the tools, which I think is important. As long as you guys follow that, you'll be good.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Good. I'm glad
man,
you like
I would
it.
try it.
Oh, sure.
Well, I guess we could talk
Is it
about.
free? It's not free.
No,
It's not free to play, is it?
There's no monthly fee,
Okay.
even though it's an MMO. But yeah, it's
So you just buy the game outright and it's like free for the rest of your life, or is there season passes and stuff?
There's going to be DLC unless you get the deluxe edition. You'll have to pay for DLC. But honestly, I've played probably 100 hours of this game or something. I don't even know, or 60 or something. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
put it. You're going to
yeah.
get your money's worth, like for sure.
I have no doubt about the value. Okay.
Yeah, it's
cool.
PC only right now, Badger. I can't imagine this with a controller with all the menus and the complicated stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, let's talk about Hitman: World of Assassination on the Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, finally.
I know,
Finally.
Matt.
Alrighty.
Gosh.
So
Well, they did
we got
an
a key,
event, right?
What's that?
They did an event that's going away soon, the Bond event.
Yeah, Casino Royale tie-in.
Yeah.
You know, this studio or developer, they're doing the next James Bond movie, right? I mean, game. And
Gotcha.
I have to say, you know, I'm not that excited about that because these Hitman games are very specific. And if they're a one-trick pony, I think they're going to fuck up Bond. But the trailer for the Bond game looked pretty okay that they released a
And
few
to be
weeks ago.
fair,
Yes.
later Hitman games are much bigger in scope. Like you're got
Yeah.
a whole city to play with, right? So they
Yeah.
could make a good Bond game, I think, if they had more action.
I think so. Now, the big deal here, of course, is this is on a handheld. This is a Switch 2 game, okay?
Mhm.
And if you're not familiar with how this this version of Hitman works, World of Assassination, that came out a few years ago, and I played and owned on Xbox or something, or PS5. It's basically a Hitman launcher, okay? And it's online always. You could play Hitman 1, 2, and 3, and then like missions based on those, and then they have like live mission events and challenges and online things and all that shit. It's like a whole world of Hitman. And it all takes place in this interface. And really, to really do it correctly, you need to be online, okay? Which doesn't really make a lot of sense with the fucking Switch when you're on a plane, right? And you can't do half of the fucking things in this game. So I think that's kind of a miss in a way. You could play offline, like, you know, the campaigns and all that, but the saves, you have an offline save and an online save. They're not the same. They're not mutual. And if you do the online play stuff with the online save, then you get specific points and rewards and scores that only, you know, the people who play online get. So it's a kind of a weird thing. Now, as far as performance with this thing, in docked, it runs like uncapped with like no variable refresh rate. And I'm going to tell you, it ran like dog shit on a 1080p TV on my deck. It was noticeably fuzzy. It was good
What happened to
enough.
this Power of the Switch 2, John? I was told. You know.
Well, this is a launch game and it's not Nintendo. I don't know. They're figuring it out. So I was not impressed at all with it on, and again, I played on a 1080p TV on my deck outside, right? And it was fuzzy. It was okay. It kind of looks like how a lot of Steam Deck games look when I plug them into a TV, like 3D games like this. Was it playable? Yeah. But you have to like Hitman. Do you like Hitman, either one of you? Like, do you love this series,
I
really?
love Hitman.
All of them? Yeah.
I really do. I've enjoyed it a lot. I think they're pretty innovative.
I always thought they were like, I was doing the same thing on
They're
all of them. Like
mid.
on one, I was like
Yeah.
on a gay cruise and I had to hide in a garbage can.
Well, that's the training mission in the beginning, right? Like the
Yeah, but I was like, I've done this
get
in every
pretty-
Hitman. Like, how many? No,
Yeah.
I think the one I was most excited about trying was that one in the mansion you guys talked about with the murder.
Oh, that was cool.
That sounded cool. Like they really
that was the
elevated
okay.
it.
I forgot about that. That was the best
Yes.
Hitman I ever played in my life.
That was the whole game, though. There was 10 set pieces like that.
Yeah, I think
You had a
they've come a long
nightclub
way
in
through the
Berlin.
years.
What was that? That was like that movie with what's his face, Daniel Craig.
Knives Out?
Yeah.
Knives
Yeah.
Out.
What was that? I forgot about that.
That was one of the
Hitman Mansion
missions.
thing.
So in this one, they did
Yeah.
Le Chiffre from Casino Royale, and there was a big, you know, you could play poker in it and all that. Le Chiffre, I don't know. Did you try
yeah,
that at all?
I did try it. It's another fucking Hitman mission.
Okay.
You know, you're in a casino. You got to get to the floor he's on, get to his
Okay.
game, and then take him out. And
So not as
and
creative
honestly,
as the.
I
mansion
get kind of tired with all this stuff. I do, you know. I did try the Dubai mission again, on Hitman 3, which is pretty fucking spectacular. And I played it on my handheld. It looks way better and runs better in handheld, which I know is counterintuitive, but it's 720p. It has variable refresh rate. It doesn't feel like it's chugging at all or slowing or down at all. So I think if you play this in handheld, you might be pretty happy. But I think the important thing here is, though, you got to know you can't take full advantage of this game unless you're online.
Right.
Like some of it's gated out. And I tested this. I put my Switch into Wi-Fi mode, and then options in the menu vanished. It says this is not available. This is not available. This is not available.
What are so there's no actual online components in these games.
No, it's
right?
a scoring thing.
nothing
It's like you get score, you get points and rewards, and I think there's leaderboards too, Matt. So if you want to be part of that whole online thing, but again, you can't even do the Casino Royale thing offline. That option disappears from the menu.
Even if you download it,
it's a live event. It's a live event. That's what they call it. It's in that section of the menu.
Okay.
And when you go to when I was in airplane mode, I went to the live event section, and it says this content not available in this mode, in offline mode.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's kind of dim. I don't like that.
So
you're at the park with your Switch 2, watching your kids on the swings. You can't turn on Hitman.
Plus, that game is made for portable, right? Like you can take on a level in an hour.
Yeah, you could. You could do the campaigns offline if you want to do all that stuff. You just can't do the special content.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like half the game though at the end of the day because they do a lot of the special stuff to keep it going.
Right. Yeah. So I played that. I do want to mention this because I had so much fucking fun again, Matt McCarthy and I. So on Steam right now, actually that sale might have ended. All those EA games that were like $2.50, $1.50.
Yeah, a lot of people picked those up. Battlefront 2 is popular again.
Yeah. So I bought all of the Battlefield games, and so did Matt, and all the Battlefield games and Battlefront. I've owned these games in various forms throughout the years on the Xbox 360 or PC, in my EA account, and Game Pass. Now they're all in Steam. They're all there. I have every single one of them. And I spent $17 to get all of them. Like, it's stupid. And so Matt did the same thing, and we're like, okay, which one should we play first? And we both agreed completely Battlefield Hardline. Holy fuck, I loved that game back in the day. And Battlefield Hardline, if you're not familiar with it, it's like a cops and robbers kind of thing. It's small maps, and it's just very different than like Battlefield 4 and games like that with like helicopters and shit. There are some larger maps on it, but most of the good memorable maps are really small. And so it was really funny though because it was like $19.99 playing this game. There's a server browser that is in a web browser, so you launch the game and then it launches a web browser. Like literally, like in Chrome, like a tab in Chrome, and it's like log into your EA account, and then it says these are the available servers for this game. There was 2 fucking servers. One server had nobody in it, and another server had 1 person in it. Right?
Oh, you joined him, right? He was probably pretty lonely.
Yes. So Matt and I are like, all right, let's just join this one. So then we join the server with 1 player in a web browser, and then it launches the game. It's totally fucking old shit. Like this is like back in the day with GameSpy and stuff. So then we get into the server with this one guy, and he must have texted his friends because all of a sudden more people started showing up. Next thing you know, we have like 4v4, 5v5 going on this server, and we stayed there for like 2-3 hours, and everybody was having a fucking blast. Everyone's texting and typing in the chat and stuff, and like it was literally like a throwback thing.
Summer sale's still going on, by the way. It's $2 that game.
And I have to say, Battlefield fucking Hardline, holy fuck, the guns feel good. Some of the best sounding fucking guns ever. It sounds like Heat. You know the scene in Heat at the end with Val Kilmer with the AR walking down the street? Yeah, that's what it sounds like. This game is Heat. Like the bank robbery scene is fucking Heat. And they captured the sound of those guns in Heat, and it's fucking just so satisfying, and they feel so fucking good. Like that, even if I don't play it ever again and we can't find those guys on that server,
$2.
That night was worth the $2.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fun. That's cool. I like that.
It was fucking fun as shit. And then, most importantly, Michelle.
Yes. Okay. Did you ride an eagle?
Yeah, none of these games are American, are they? Have we tied that in?
This next one is.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah. What'd you do?
So, Michelle, I like every other American here. We like picnics.
Do we?
Matt, do you like picnics?
I don't think that's an American. Yeah, I love picnics.
No,
I don't
it's
like
American.
picnics. I think they're annoying.
Yeah, you get a basket, and you go in the
I'll take
woods.
a private picnic, with a loved one, but not like, block party picnic. All your neighbors are there.
No.
Yeah,
A
none of that.
private
Nice
picnic.
park.
You make some little sandwiches. You cut the crust off.
You sit on a blanket and stare at the.
You sit in a blanket, and then you go in the
Brush the
woods.
ants
You go
away.
deep in the fucking woods, and you
Oh.
sit down.
No.
hide the body.
then-
Don't go in the woods for a
And
picnic.
then
Yeah,
and then
that's
and then what
terrible
happens after that? You start eating little sandwiches.
Sex.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Oh,
got
yeah.
a can. You got a can of meat. You brought with you.
No,
What?
no, a can of meat.
Are you going with your dog?
Maybe you have a can.
Yeah, like I've never opened a can of meat unless it was for
Okay,
a
you got
pet.
you got
I
a
don't-
can of meat.
Ugh.
What?
And maybe you're making some burgers out there in
What am
the
I-
in the woods on your
What kind of
blanket.
Are you a
degenerate are
hobo?
you? A
You're
can
talking
of
about
meat?
hobo
What are you
lifestyle.
talking about?
No, this is a picnic.
Baked
Okay,
beans?
You've brought canned meat to a
can of
picnic.
meat, and then maybe sometimes you have some recipes to make things on the picnic.
No, you don't bring
What?
recipes on a picnic. That means you
Are
were
you
ill
sure?
prepared.
No, you bring ingredients on a
I've never seen someone
picnic.
open up a cookbook on a picnic.
No, you clearly everyone has recipes that they bring with them on a picnic, and
And
they
cans
prepare
of
things
meat?
and cans of meat.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
recipes. No, I just like hot
No,
dogs.
you don't
Well,
want to
in
bring
the
meat to
game-
a picnic because it's not going to stay cool in your cooler and it's going to grow
Okay.
bacteria. and
Well,
you're
in
gonna
the
get diarrhea.
game, Picnic Peril. Okay,
Okay.
you are
Why did you
picnicking.
play this? Why did you play
On the
this?
game Picnic Peril, Matt, you are on a picnic, okay? Here's the problem, okay? You're trying to eat your food, but the fucking ants keep coming, right?
Oh, those assholes. I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to
Yeah.
eat your food before the ants eat your food, right?
Yeah.
So what you're going to try to do is distract them with foods that you don't care about, okay?
Okay.
Right?
Cool. That seems not like a big.
I'm
way
looking
to
at this
talk, like,
game here.
handle that. That seems
$2.
like
It's on a
lot of work.
grid. There's ants are the size of your body. Where are
Okay,
you?
just
Zimbabwe.
hang on.
What kind
I'm
of ants are
explaining.
these?
I'm explaining the fucking game. Okay.
To be
So
honest, I just move.
Yeah,
here's how
I don't
it
think
works.
I'd eat amongst the ants. Okay, I'm gonna
here's
move.
how it works.
Fight the ants.
Okay,
for the
you
mission.
have recipes, burgers, canned meat in a can.
What?
Okay,
That's
you
what
have
you get for. I'm sorry. If you're someone who purchases canned meat, you deserve the ants.
you have. But here's the thing: the canned meat. It takes the ants 3 turns to destroy it. It's actually a blocking mechanism, so you can actually eat the burger that you really wanted, Michelle. It's a defensive item. You're not eating
Or you
it.
just move again.
What?
You
Yeah,
could
I think-
just pick up
I
and
think
move.
you just move. Yeah, it seems faster. Maybe
So
you
in
leave
this
your car.
game, you go from level to level to level. The basket opens up, ingredients come out, and you try to make the recipe item that is going to earn you the most points, while at the same time protecting your plate so the ants can't get to it by distracting them with
I
other
think this
foods
may
that
be
you
the
don't care
stupidest
about.
game I've ever heard about.
It's
And you play
Picnic
it to a
Peril,
T.
and it's all American, and it's here because of the 4th of July.
I think, okay.
Old Cranky. It's called.
Picnic Peril.
Peril.
Let me give you
Picnic
a link,
Peril.
Old Cranky.
By the way,
I'm
I'm sorry.
looking
I
at
don't
these
mean to be
reviews
cranky,
here.
Old
This
Cranky.
game is a
It's good.
combination of a board and tower defense game.
Yeah, it's great.
This food falls into 3 categories. No, okay. I think the game should be called Just Move, like Matt said.
Just move? What do you
Just
mean?
move.
Just
move
find
so you're
another
eating.
spot?
Just find another spot. Without the
Find another
ants.
spot.
Something died in the anthill and gives move. All right. Well, what are you drinking, John?
Happy 4th of July, everybody. I am
Happy 4th of
drinking a Gatorade Zero. All right, Matt, I'm excited to hear what you have to say about Death Stranding.
Yes.
Well,
I know
first
you
of all,
loved the first one. Go ahead.
Can I talk about like 2 games I've played outside of Death
Sure,
Stranding
of
now?
course.
Of course.
Because I feel like I haven't been on since Doom, and I'm still playing Doom, by the way. I finished Doom, and I'm now on Nightmare. I'm going through it again. Like, I have developed an intense love for this game. I
Really?
wasn't as sold on it at first, but once like the combat clicks, it's giving me the same kind of flow state.
Now, Matt, my initial impression.
That.
I want to ask you though, because after you playing for so long, my initial impression was that was a little more throwback, old school compared to the last one, which was more rhythm.
Sure, but
Do you agree with that or no?
No, because I think once you unlock everything, you are moving as fast as Eternal. Like you can, once you lock on someone, you can just zoom over to them and you can jump and zoom over to them. So it's almost the same functionality as that little hook shot you had in Eternal anyways. You're pretty fast and the action gets super intense and fast. So there is like, you're not leaping from like building to building anymore, but there's still a ton of mobility in this game. It's good. I think they hit it out of the park. But most people won't really click into it because it is you have to like the game to learn the game. And if you don't, it doesn't catch you in the first few levels. You're not learning the game. You're going to walk away.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Ted played a lot in our Discord, Matt, and he said the same thing. Like at first he liked the other one better, but then this one really grew on him. It sounds like if you stick with it, you'll be rewarded. Like you have to get by the initial like awkward phase of, well, it's not the last game. It's a little different. But
you know that argument. It's hard to say, spend 20 hours with it, then you'll see what they're doing.
Yeah.
You can't tell someone that. So
no.
I love it because I spent like 30 hours with it. Now I understand what it's trying to do, but it's a hard argument. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you guys talked about it, the altars.
I played a little bit, but I didn't get in depth. What do you think of it?
I absolutely love it. This is not at all the game I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like more Frostpunky and that like far more things are going on, but this is a very small tale about you and your clones. Like you and just like 7 of your clones. I thought this was hundreds of people working for you, like lemmings or something like that. No, it's 7 distinct characters that you have deep conversations with, that you're doing favors for. A lot of the game is just making sure they don't kill you or they agree with you, and you're trying to like be nice to them so they don't rebel. And outside of that, you're finding as many resources that you can because there's always something going wrong and there's always something to fix. So if you like that at night, chill and talk, and in the morning do all the work kind of loop, I do. It's fun. It makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something. I really do. It's a really good game. Plus, it's a cool story anyways.
Yeah, I would love to see this as like a movie. I liked kind of where the story was going. One thing I saw this past week about it, which I thought was silly, there were people out there angry at them for not disclosing the use of AI, but all it was like localization for like voices and translation, that they, if there's 500 languages or 200 languages, whatever they said it was like, having AI do that. They were like, this was careless and they didn't disclose this. And it's like, you guys just got to get used to this. Like if they can translate to all these languages and you guys get to play, like, and you saw some mistakes, like,
look, I'm a voice actor, so I should be against this. But when I heard that news,
it was text translation, Matt. It was text translation. Text translation, just like for the text on the screen. And there's pages and pages in this game, apparently, of like books and documents. And if they can get the 50 languages,
it's a dialogue.
Yeah,
it's a dialogue heavy game. Like,
no,
sure. Oh, also, there's like 10 movies in this game. Like you can collect movies and watch them with your altars. And these are full on like 10-minute sketches. They're hilarious, by the way. I liked them anyway.
Is it live action?
Beer pong. Yeah, they're like live action movies.
Oh,
they're all made by one sketch team, but they do a lot, like 10 different like genres, and it's pretty funny. Really good. I don't know. I really dug the altars. I thought I was telling you a good story. I'm still playing it. I've been playing it for a while, but Death Stranding has taken it over.
All right.
So John, let's talk it. Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. This is a mini round table, Matt. We both played on PS.
PS5.
Yeah, obviously PS5, not Pro, right?
No.
And how did you acquire?
And I say it that way. Digitally. Now, this was a decision because I own the first copy.
Okay.
I own the first one in like a disc.
Yeah.
So I was like, do I collect it?
Oh.
But then that would mean having to go to the store, and I was like super lazy that day, and I just wanted to play Death Stranding 2.
Right.
So I think I downloaded it, but I'm feeling
Are
like
you
I'm
sure you did?
I mean, yeah, I digitally it. Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you asking like that?
Why are you making
him question what he did? Matt, you're way too... Don't let him do this to you.
No, because remember the whole thing with the download and the refund, whatever, with Matt.
He didn't really do it. Yeah, his neighbor downloaded it for him.
With your...
No, I never did that. My son did that. Was that Battlefield?
Yes.
Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
And then you found that one dumbass post that someone put from a Matt Bradford, or
I don't remember
some
that.
kind
It
of
was
weird
like a
evidence.
serial returner. Okay,
yeah.
so you acquired it digitally. I think
I
that's a good
downloaded it.
move.
Yeah,
You
what
want to
about you,
own
John?
it
Well,
forever.
I mean, I bought it physically. I actually bought it on Amazon physically.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sitting around on Thursday. I'm like, where's that fucking package? And I go on Amazon and it says out of stock, coming, we don't know when. And I placed the order on like 12 days ago, right? So
It is
What?
how ironic that a game about fulfilling orders gets to you late.
right. So I immediately canceled the Amazon order and I go on Walmart.com. I have Walmart Plus, and on their website it says will be delivered tomorrow morning. I'm like, okay. So I got it from Walmart.
Amazon's
Shocking.
slipping.
Don't give them a good rating. That order does not deserve a good rating for that delivery.
What's that? Yeah. But just on just kind of a side note here. I mean, you saw what happened with Nintendo and Amazon, right?
I saw that in the news.
No.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's
What
true or
happened?
whatever. But lately, like,
What happened?
Amazon's been slipping, and everybody I know who has Walmart home delivery, like, loves it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, not to
Was
derail
Walmart
us.
eating Amazon's lunch?
I think so.
Oh.
I don't know. Okay, Matt. So, really quick, I'm just going to tell you my history at this game. Okay, we covered this game. When did the first one come out? Like 7,
5
8
years ago.
Okay,
I did
okay.
a whole episode on this with Waffles. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah. You love
Yeah.
this game. So, John, you were
Yeah.
kind of more
Love this
mixed
game.
on it, right?
I
Like a
was
little-
mixed. I didn't play a ton of it, and
Yeah.
I didn't get the appeal.
I
Obviously, I, love.
respected the cutscenes and everything, and,
Yeah.
and that he was doing something different, but it was never my thing. So I'm curious
But-
what's
but it-
changed in this game.
Yeah, like I love his. I think Kojima is fucking brilliant. You know.
He is.
Oh,
We're lucky
boy.
to have him, and
No, he
I
is.
think we're lucky to
Come on.
get
No,
games
he
like
is.
this.
No,
The
he
game
is.
was too
Totally
good.
unique.
He had to make it worse.
Well,
he's a genius.
That was-
all right,
He's
so
that was
Matt,
brilliant.
so that's
pretentious to say.
my
Blazing
experience.
butthole.
Okay, whatever. My experience going into this, the point I'm bringing this up is that I don't remember, Matt, a lot of things that were in the last game and what's new. Okay, so I kind of need you to help me with this, because you know this. I know more than I do, right?
Platinum that.
Yeah. So
Wasn't
what
in
was
that
your initial? I'll also, do you want to talk about your background, or you just want to get right to the visuals and stuff?
No, this is Death Stranding is in my top 3 games of all time. So
Okay.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
Now,
so
I
came
just-
in with a bias. I'll tell you right
Yeah.
now. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I went in with an open mind, and I mean that because I said I'm going to try to
You
get into
went
it.
in excited to be excited. Let's
I
make sure.
I said I'm going to try to get into this shit. Okay,
Yes.
I know
Good.
that this is art and all that. And I'm going to try to get into it. Okay, and listen, I'm. This is not hyperbole. I've never seen a console game that looks this good ever in my life.
Yep.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
this
the
is
fuck.
magic.
I don't know how the fuck
is
they did
voodoo.
it. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. But the
Yeah.
lighting, the crispness, the character models, the environments.
It's more proof that it's the talent of the developers.
It's
and
the
not
talent.
yeah,
This is, but
not
it's the
system.
thing. It's not like
Cutscenes
just.
are almost photorealistic.
They're
now,
photo,
and
yeah,
the
but it's
model
not.
acting.
It's weird though because it's not like the graphics engine. It's not the pixels. It's the lighting. It's how everything is lit and like it's just
Well, he
perfection.
paid special attention to make it look cinematic, right, and make it look
Yeah.
beautiful and,
Yeah.
and visually appealing. So, it
But
paid
that
off.
makes it more realistic. Okay, it's
Right.
just not like some guy with a mouse put a light over here in the 3D program, you know, and said, "Oh, we'll put a light source right here. We'll put a light source here." It's like, no, this was like shot by Stanley Kubrick or something, you know, like, and it
Especially
just
that opening scene on the mountains, right? You're
Yes.
just looking everywhere around you. Like the draw distance is insane for a
yes, and it
PS5.
starts out and you're like, "Oh, this is live action. They're showing us these mountains," and then all of a sudden it's the game. You're like, "Wait, what?" Right?
I move this person now? Oh, I'm playing. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're shaking a baby and the baby's super cute and you're like,
Yeah, and the baby looks so
this is
real.
a special game.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
like I cannot say enough how great this
Yeah,
fucking
it
game looks at all times.
blew me
And
away.
Well,
here's
I've
the
heard is
killer.
you're shaking a baby and it looks good. I mean, I can, what?
Well, we'll
what's
talk about the game, but
Yeah.
here's the killer about this game though. Too
Killer?
is I'm playing on performance mode. I'm not playing on the visual mode, and it still fucking looks
Yeah,
sick.
me too. Sure. Yeah, I know. Same as me because I mean, yeah, on graphics mode, it's what 40. Like, it's a noticeable difference. So
Yeah.
I put it on performance mode.
Right.
Just because I need to. I can't go back to 30 now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's try to explain the setup of this game, Matt.
John,
and I want
you
you
said
to
Sony's
correct
dead.
me.
Are you rolling back on Sony being dead?
You make one game in 5 years.
Oh, okay.
That's
One game, God of War.
You said it's the best
doing
looking
this.
console
Okay.
game you've ever seen. Those are your Switch eyes talking. All right, go ahead.
No, those are not my Switch eyes. Those are real eyes. Like it
By the way,
really is.
soundtrack again is amazing.
Yeah,
we
it
can
is.
Yeah,
talk
the
about that in a
soundtrack was
second.
good in the first one too. That's good to
Uh,
hear.
Okay, so
And-
this.
Okay.
All right, so this game.
Very briefly. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
Very briefly, there was a cataclysmic event that
Oh, good,
separated
Matt.
life.
Thank you.
Life and death. There's
Yes.
and it kind of connected the two worlds. And the premise is that everyone has a beach. That's where their soul goes when they die. That's the in between heaven and hell, whatever. That's the limbo. Now that beach is connected to the world, and these beach things, BTs, enter the real world and try to take down living people.
Is it presented in that
BT
sort of way, or is it more of a Matrix sci-fi? You're in limbo in your brain sort of way.
It's presented in that way.
It's presented in a
that's-
religious
yeah,
way
no,
as
this
opposed
is
to
the
a
real life.
scientific way. Whereas
it's everything. There's sci-fi,
Philosophically.
religion,
Okay.
horror. There's a mishmash of themes going on here. There's a soul. This game says there's a soul, and there's the
But this
human body.
this is more
Yeah.
Japanese type stuff, right? With like
Yeah.
You mean your
the-
spirit, your essence being caught
Yes,
within
Your
someone.
ka,
Yeah,
your ka, and
yeah.
something else, ka and tet or something.
yeah.
I forget.
I think that's what it is, Michelle.
So wait. Let me get this out. 10 seconds. You're Sam Bridges. You can't die. You got to go through like 10 essays to find out why you can't die. But you're tasked with connecting first Mexico and then Australia to a chiral network, which is basically the internet.
And we should state in the first game he connected America. He walked across
America, yeah.
east to west, right?
The internet. It sounds like
So
this is
all the
happening
while-
digitally.
Oh yeah, there is digital, but the chiral network is attached to the afterlife. That's where it draws its power from. So it's
But
sci-fi
the afterlife
slash.
could be digital. It could be in a computer simulated like that. Then I'm thinking like
Who
a San
knows with
Junipero
Kojima?
type thing.
It could be. There's a lot of
Okay.
VR. There's a lot of hologram
Yeah, I
usage
mean, it sounds
in this
like
game.
a crazy story.
It is. It's so as I'm saying, like as you're doing this across Australia, there is this batshit insane story going on. Like it's to describe it would be like there's an animated doll that joins your team. There's a woman who can like teleport, but she can't anymore because she's dying. There's like twins who share the same soul. There's just like Kojima just like goes crazy with this one. It's really fun.
Gameplay wise,
Sorry, John,
are
I
you
didn't
still
mean to
walking with packages? Or I saw combat. Like
Lots of combat. Lots of I don't know how far you got, John, but it is a lot of the same.
I finished the second mission, Matt. That's what I did.
in Mexico.
Yes, in Mexico.
So
but
that is the loop. Yeah.
okay, but I'm assuming that eventually I have a vehicle and I'm not just walking like a drunk.
You have vehicles.
Yeah.
You have vehicles. You have roads. You have so much more infrastructure. You have zip
Okay.
lines. Yeah.
So tell me. So what I experienced so far is, and I like it quite a bit actually. And again, you have to tell me if this was in the first game because I don't remember. I'm presented with a map. Okay, I have to deliver some critical thing to a base that's fucking 30 miles away. Okay. And I'm looking at the map, and it's like all these obstacles are in between me and the base. Okay, there's bad guys
Rivers,
here. There's
gorges.
rivers here. You're gonna drown if you go this way. You can't cross this river here. You have to go through this bridge. And you could chart the course any way you want. You can go right through the middle of the bad guys and kill all of them and get their loot, or just avoid that whole area. But if you do, you have to cross a river, go up a hill, go up a mountain, whatever, and go through a sandstorm, which I fucking did, which was crazy. And then you get to the destination. And then along the way, there's shit everywhere. There's loot. You know, real people are dropping things in the world. You might come across a ladder or a rope, which I remember from the last game, you know.
And then you can add things to the world that people can use. You can add time fall shelters, which protect you from the rain because the rain dissolves your packages super quickly.
Right, like I found a mailbox and a bunch of people put shit in the mailbox, and I took from the mailbox, and I also left something in there. I also upgraded the mailbox for people later, right? So you could do all these things.
And you're getting messages from people too, right? They're leaving their signs everywhere, like "Good job, good job." That's a little annoying. I think I'm going to turn that off because that's getting a little too much.
Doing in this game?
I just explained
that's because
No,
like
said
to call it a delivery simulator is so like it strips it down. you are technically, you got to get from A to B with a package. That's 99% of the missions.
Is the package?
But what,
okay, so you're carrying a baby too?
No, not in this game.
The baby helps.
Baby's at home. Oh, the baby comes back?
But later on, I can't. It's a spoiler.
Okay,
This
so
game is
baby
so
comes
weird,
back?
The plot wise.
Okay. Okay.
Not. I can't. But
I thought maybe
It's
the
fine.
baby
The
was
thing
you
on your-
as a baby. It
No, the
represented-
baby
No,
was
no,
born from
Michelle.
an undead mother, from a brain dead mother.
right.
Right.
It's like harvested.
Like
the baby's
senses
harvested.
the Never mind.
BTs. The
Okay.
baby senses the.
I know the joke,
spirits.
but that's not the joke here. It's just like it was harvested. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Harvested. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a whole
Okay, you're
sci-fi
delivering
thing going on.
packages.
yeah.
But
But
whatever
Michelle-
happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just wanted to explain to Michelle,
Mhm.
and Matt, correct me if I'm wrong here. A big part of this is balancing the load on your back, and then controlling your balance at all times. Matt, does that change later, especially when you have
Absolutely.
modes of transportation
I've been-
and stuff? Okay.
I've been rocking a motorcycle. I have not walked anywhere for like
Okay.
the last 3 hours. I just have a vehicle.
Okay.
If I get stuck, I go out and walk, but that rarely happens, right? But
But are you balancing the
is-
vehicle's load?
so you got to drive safely, and yeah, you got to balance your load. Like if your load's getting too full and you're really like stressed out,
Right.
you got to
Yeah, you
balance
don't
that.
wanna-
Blue
going
balls.
down
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
mountain.
I get it.
Yeah.
Men get
you get
angry. You
sand
gotta
balls.
take care of that.
But there's so many. So the incentive of doing these deliveries is people will give you an exoskeleton suit. Oh, now you've got a motorcycle with extra cabs in it. And you just generally get better and better at what you do. You get thrown so many things to complete these deliveries. It's not even an issue anymore. And then the game becomes about the combat, because there is a lot of combat in this game. There's a lot of infiltrating bases, getting packages that were stolen. It's not just, have a nice little stroll from A
And there's
to
side
B.
quests.
There's tons of side quests, tons of rain, tons of obstacles. You can listen, and then to the soundtrack point, they give you a music player now, so you can make your own playlist and just listen to like chill indie rock delivering stuff if that's your
So
vibe.
Jedi says it's a
you can
walking
just-
simulator, but the greatest walking simulator. Is that accurate?
It is, but that's like saying Paperboy is a Paperboy simulator. It's still classic. It does something with that loop.
It's not like a walking simulator like what was that Firewalk game, whatever fucking it's something just completely it's its own thing. Like
Mhm.
It really is. It
Like-
really is.
and the
There
thing
are-
is
you can die.
s-
Can you lose everything? There are negative consequences too if you mess up, right? Like you can drop all your packages or
Yeah,
whatever.
you
Yes.
can fail
Yeah.
missions. And
So
you
what
Yeah.
I had a
Sorry,
close
John.
I had a close call crossing a river where I tripped on a fucking rock and all my packages started flowing down the fucking river and I'm chasing them down and honestly it was kind of exciting and
That's
I managed
frustrating
to
to me. I don't know. I think you're
But it
already
was-
in hell. You guys.
it was
have-
realistic.
Yeah.
But I
No,
found
it
the
wasn't.
I got the ones I really needed, which are the ones I had to deliver, and I just left the rest of the shit float down the fucking Colorado River or whatever the fuck it was. And
In Mexico.
well, does the Colorado River go down there? It might.
I don't know. I'm terrible in geography, so I could just
Yeah,
be being
I
an
don't-
idiot right
I don't
now.
think so.
It goes pretty close. That goes through the Grand Canyon. I'm not that far off.
Sure. All right.
What?
No, you get it. I don't know. This is it's not just walking. It's
It does hit the tip of
Look,
northwestern
you'll never-
Mexico, John. Congrats.
You'll never feel a high, Michelle.
Well, okay,
as
you were
do
about to
when
call
you're-
me a fucking idiot.
I didn't call anything.
I know,
I always
I'm
call
bad,
you an
I'm
idiot.
sorry.
She was like, "Oh, ooh, he said that. It goes
Yeah.
to Mexico,
Michelle.
and it does. Thank you."
So
I
there
didn't
is
say
a.
it didn't.
If you want a gaming high, Michelle, it's when like you spent 20 minutes building bridges, scaling cliffs, and you're coming up to that shelter with your back full of supplies in good condition, and then you just turn it all in. Like there is such a release, like a good dopamine rush
When you get
in this
there, yeah.
game. Every
And he
single
throws
time.
his arms up in the air like, "Yeah, I fucking made it."
Oh, and
Like-
people are congratulating you. Like the person at the front is like, "Welcome back, Sam. You're saving us all." Like this game knows how to reward you for the stupidest things, and it's almost to a point where it's goofy. Like this game is so over the top optimistic. Like if you press the middle button, it's just Sam telling himself like, "You can do this, pal. You got this, buddy." Like like that gives you such motivation. I don't know. It
Is that
feels
what
like
you
you're
want from your video games? Did it make you feel better after? Or did you feel like
Motivation?
did you go climb some stairs? Yeah. Like what?
I felt accomplished. Like I feel like I'm connecting a whole continent.
Okay.
I'm helping people with their lives. I'm reconnecting humanity.
All
and
right.
it is a fun loop.
I mean, I don't even know what the game is. I know what you guys keep saying, but I can't really picture it. It'll be interesting if I check it out when it comes to PC. But
So
I don't
Matt,
know.
like, I have some questions. So like, I've avoided all the combat, and I have a mission now to go into a base and get packages. So I'm assuming I'm forced into combat like right now. I did do the
it's gonna
VR.
work.
I did do the VR like combat simulation, and the guns feel fine. And it has like that kind of Metal Gear-ish vibe about the technology and the guns and all that, which I love. What?
Sorry, Jedi of Light says, but Matt was too lazy to walk to the store and buy it physically.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of funny, right? So my thing was ironic, and so was yours, man.
That's hilarious. Sorry, John. Yeah.
So when do the BTs like play into this?
Very soon. You're gonna Mexico's basically a tutorial zone.
Oh, and then you
So
go to
it's-
Australia, you said, which I didn't know was happening.
Australia's-
I thought I was stuck in Mexico for the whole game.
No. You go to Australia, which I'm an expert in. So I all this stuff is familiar to me, having spent 3 weeks in Australia. Like I know every destination in Australia.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you did have
But you start in
travel
Mexico.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
3 weeks is all you need.
You're gonna start. Yeah, 3 weeks. But you're gonna start fighting BTs. Just bring a lot of the blood grenades. That's all you got to do. You just got to toss them.
Right.
You're gonna fight a super cool boss soon that I won't spoil for you too. So you'll get a sense of the scale of these things.
Yeah.
'Cause these are like giant screen-filling monsters now.
What sort of
Right.
abilities are you using when you fight them? Is it just punching, kicking? Do you have specials? Do you have talent trees?
Shooting.
Shooting?
Yeah,
Okay.
grenades and you don't have spells or anything, right? It's
Right.
just shooting with the weapons that you unlock. Yeah.
Okay.
What
And
else,
he's
John?
the
Are you-
only guy that has ever killed a BT.
I think
That's what it said. That's his legend.
Yeah, I don't know. I've watched like 2 videos trying to catch me up, but the plot's
Well,
just crazy.
Okay, let's talk about that. So they do a really good job when you launch the game. There's a whole recap thing where you can recap the whole story. I did that.
Yep.
And then also there is an encyclopedia for the game as you're playing it that you can access at any time. You can see who the characters are, their background, the items, how the health works. It's kind of like that Final Fantasy game did. Where you can go back.
I like
and,
it.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit
It
too.
saved my ass a lot of times. I'm like, what? Who is this person? Why should
Yes.
I care? And then you
I
press
did
the start.
I did all of that. With even with Lou the baby, BB, like I read all that. I'm like, oh, okay, now that's why he's got the fucking baby.
Yeah. Norman Reedus. No, it's hard to keep track. But more I read about this, like they don't want you to really know what's going. They want you to be confused. They want this plot not to be like too
Right.
easy to understand. So if you're lost, don't worry about it. Just like sit back and let the zaniness wash over you. Because
Yeah.
like I said, you end up traveling with the animated doll that just gives wisecracks the whole game. So it's not meant to be like taken super seriously.
Right.
It's such a vibe though. Like
It is.
I don't know if it happened
Wow.
to you yet.
Do
Like
you guys want to
just
kiss
the camera,
or should I leave?
the camera pans back and and a cool song kicks in and you're just making your delivery. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. This is fun.
Right.
I'm like,
I
in the
have to
zone.
admit, I like the balancing act of going over this terrain and streams and rivers.
Yeah.
I like this. Like I didn't even care that I was involved in combat. I actually preferred it. Actually, I'm like,
It's like a nice hike.
it's a puzzle, but I'm like, oh, I could use a ladder here. Oh, someone left me a fucking rope. All right, I'm taking that.
Right?
Yeah.
I wish you could have picnics with other people. That would be fun. Just like
Yeah.
invite another
John will
player and
never
just sit
play
down
it
and have a
again.
picnic. Look, play the Mexico. I'm not just talking to you, John, but if you wanted to get a good sense of what this game is, play the Mexico part. And if you didn't like what you're doing there, that's it's not going to get much different than that.
Right.
But it is going to get more complicated in terms of what you're building and the people you encounter. But that's the loop. What you do in Mexico.
Do you like it better than the first game so far, Matt? Or
I'll have to let you know. Next time I'm
Okay.
on, I'll let you know because the
Okay.
first game really,
top 3 of all time? It's hard
Surprised
to
me.
beat. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, good.
But,
I'm
I
glad you
definitely
both
give it like a
love
9
it.
out of 10.
I don't know. I don't think I ever want to play this game, but it sounds like it looks cool. It's an experience.
I totally
if you like
get
the first one, you'll
totally,
like this one. Sounds like, right? If you hated the first one, you probably will hate this one.
I don't know about
if
that.
someone says they hate this game, I think you got to give it a shot though. Like don't listen, it's not a walking simulator. I mean, people like to disregard it, but it's a vibe. It's a vibe, man. You just got to give it like a couple hours, and if it doesn't hook you, it's never going to. But if it does, it's going to hook you bad, and it hooked me bad.
All right, cool. What are you drinking, Matt?
Just water.
Just water.
All right, we're gonna.
I got a little. It's Canada Day, so I got a little
right.
day drunk like
did you?
7 hours ago. So yeah, I'm not drunk now, but I was. I'm just kind of.
What do you guys do for Canada Day? Like, is it a picnic thing?
Picnic?
Like the same thing? Is it like nobody cares?
Well, it's my kid's birthday. It's my son's birthday, right? So it's usually just we go to my parents' house. So I got day drunk at my parents' house.
Okay. Well, yes. All right. Well,
Yay.
we are going to take a quick break now. Matt, you're going to take off as well because it is your son's birthday, but we do thank you for joining us and covering Death Stranding.
Yeah, Matt, that was good.
Back again. That was fun. I'm glad because
That was fun.
You know, you guys could talk about it together. But if you want to find us or find Matt, he is in our Discord. You can always say hi, and he'll be back again, at least for our next like Halloween show or something.
Sure.
We're gonna have you and Ryan together and do like a big spooky fest. So you can always come down and say hi to Matt there as well. All right, we will be right back after
Thanks,
the
guys.
break.
That was fun.
All right, let's get into some news. There's been a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like, you know, the whole thing with Xbox and the hardware, I don't understand why people are all up in like arms about this. I don't know if you've been following it at all.
No, what's going on?
Well, Xbox, quote, has no desire to make hardware anymore. Founding team member says, Laura Fryer, she says that they're exiting the hardware business. And, you know, there's people saying Xbox is dead or whatever. John, we've been saying this for like 15 years that they were going to do this. This is what they should do.
Yeah,
And
but who's saying this?
Laura Fryer, she is
She's
former...
not an existing team member.
No, but she has a lot of history with. I mean, like we don't need her to tell us this. Like we called this for years.
Yeah,
We've said they were going to do this for years, and they're reinventing what an Xbox is and what is an Xbox. We've been saying that forever. You know, so I feel like people are saying like out there online, like, oh, there's no point to own an Xbox anymore. If anything, to me, I think there's more reason to own it because you're now getting access to other games. What was the point to own an Xbox before? Because I'm a PC gamer, I can get Xbox Game Pass, I can get Xbox games, I can get PlayStation games. Like, why are they saying there's less reason to buy an Xbox now? I think if anything, they're sort of reinventing what the Xbox is, but it's still a brand. But they did say, John, Microsoft will be the number one gaming platform. And I think people just have to understand that doesn't necessarily mean Xbox is going away.
I've been saying that for years.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Like,
do you guys all
new...
forget all you PC gamers? Do you realize you're on the Microsoft platform? You know, like,
yeah,
like so. But here's the thing: I don't think Microsoft's going to stop making hardware. I just don't think that. Okay,
no, they just made a deal with AMD to make proprietary Xbox stuff with them.
So,
that's not just a slap on.
So for
text.
this woman who doesn't work there anymore, you know, runaway nun always speaks ill of the convent, Michelle. And
not always.
so
sometimes there's a something you got to sign, you know.
But you know, she's not there anymore. So I think that's just a little like someone said that in passing, and now it's fucking 10 news articles. Microsoft is going to make hardware. I think that's clear. They've already said it. So. What's different though is they realize though the money is in the razor blades, which we've been saying for fucking the last 10 years.
Obviously,
you know?
as one of the founding members of the Xbox team, I'm not pleased where things are today. I don't love watching all the value that I helped create get eroded away, lady.
Oh, come on!
The value
what
has been
value in hardware
never been better, other than the 360 era.
Okay,
like the value it can only get better for Xbox with this philosophy. I don't get it.
The 360 era, first of all. The reason it was so good, besides the games, was because we went from fucking CRTs to fucking HD TVs, okay? That's what happened, right? And that was a major leap. And it got everyone inspired, and everyone wasn't captured
Mike
yet.
Ibarra also came out and started. I don't know what's going. Like I don't know. I know people who know him personally, and like I don't know why this dude's like office rocker right now. But he came out and said some shitty things too as well. And I mean, he was former Blizzard, okay, and now Microsoft purchased them. So like, there's a lot of people. It's not just her coming down like shitting on Xbox, saying what they're doing is stupid and dumb. It's like I can't figure this out.
They're smart.
Because to me, it's like, yeah, I get it. You know what? Like a lot of people I know skipped Xbox this generation. Okay. They were like, well, there's no reason to get it. Now I hear people saying, well, if I can just play my Steam games on it next time around and I'll just get the PlayStation games through Steam, like maybe I'll just get one of these for the living room. This could be cool. But, you know, the people who used to work there, the people involved in Xbox felt like their soul has been stolen from them. And they're like, they just think it's dead. It's like, I don't get it.
Make that make sense though.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me that your soul was in the 360 hardware? When we think back then, we think about the games, right?
Yeah, they're really changing the OS. They're just opening up the operating system a bit more, so you're not only locked to the Xbox store. That's all of a sudden killing their vision. So he said they need to figure out what needs to change and fast. Pick your lane and stick to it.
Again, I feel like
Xbox should strive to be the world's largest publisher of entertainment content. Get rid of anything else and get focused. Don't be afraid to say who you are. Embrace the lane. Straddling the fence is not a winning plan.
Oh, wait. Who said that? You said that? They said that?
Mike Ybarra said it. He said they're trying to do too much by, Xbox Anywhere, and we're streaming, we're cloud, we're Game Pass. No,
but yeah, I've said this again. I've said this before. Hardware is not the same as it was 20 years ago, where everything was proprietary. Like you had to make a game that only ran on the Super Nintendo, and you couldn't port it to the Genesis. And if only some smart guy could do it.
And you're competing in a global market with small teams.
But now it's not the same thing. Like everyone's got Unity and Unreal. It doesn't matter. You push a button. All right, put this on the Switch. Put this on fucking. Like it's not the same anymore. It's just
so this
not.
woman doesn't get it. She said that this isn't going to have any exclusive games that are going to drive sales of the Xbox Ally or their Xbox like living room console. It's not going to be the exclusive games that drive the sales anymore. It's going to be Game Pass and the access to your PC library in your living room with the Microsoft system and the Sony games, like all in one. Like people I don't know anybody anymore who wants to own an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Switch. I know you do, John, but most people are just sick of it. And
I do, but it might be the last generation I do that. Right?
Yeah. People are like, if I can get something, that can do, because it just feels like you don't need these 4 devices in your house anymore in this market, in this day and age, with everything going everywhere. So, they're putting nail in the coffin for Xbox. And I'm like, if anything, they just gave you more reasons to own an Xbox. And I don't even want to own one. But it's like, I'm at least like agree, like I see their vision. We've been talking about this for years. Why are people so shocked? Like they give you more and they say they're taking stuff away.
What are they taking away? Seriously,
I don't know.
They're giving like, more.
Help this make sense to me, because I don't understand why people think this is such a bad thing that you're going to be able to like sort of duo hybrid PC Xbox libraries, and like they already have Game Pass.
But that makes more sense these days than the walled garden from 20, 30 years ago,
so you
right?
tell me what exclusives Xbox is going to pull out of their ass. So they released Halo, okay, a new Halo, and it's great and people love it. You really think all of a sudden it's the number one console? Xbox only competes in America, first of all. Nobody buys them outside of this country.
They're going to make way more money if that's on PC and PlayStation.
Of course.
And
exactly.
So why wouldn't you do that? But that's how gaming is now. Gaming, that's how it is. Like, again, going back to Unity, Unreal, everyone's got the same engines.
Xbox, CC, so CC is explaining it this way. He says Xbox's future is PC hardware, not console. But what's the difference, though? You don't have to tap into and take advantage of your Steam library or your GOG library or your PC library. You can just stay funneled in your little Game Pass Xbox console world, and you won't even know. They're giving more options. You don't have to partake in them, I feel like, but giving people the ability to access more games and more platforms and more, like, why is this so negative?
I don't think it is.
To people. I guess I can't figure that out.
Like, I'm actually really curious to see how this all shakes out, because I don't quite, and nobody really knows, I don't quite know what the next Xbox living room / PC is going to really be like. Is it, oh, by the way, I did try that Steam. I did try the new Xbox app on my PC that has the Steam games. We were going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So that's foreshadowing of all of this. Right now, it's very basic. It's not exciting at all. There's just a list of games that are installed on my computer. There's no metadata. There's no description. It just says the name of the game, and the icon, maybe some of them don't have icons, the artwork, the cover art, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can just click on the game and
it right now.
Yeah, so we saw those screenshots like on Twitter and stuff where it looked very curated. You know, these are the Epic games, these are the Steam games. That's not how it is at all right now.
Right.
It's just in the left column. There's a list of all these games that are installed locally.
I think it's a threat for some people, and they don't like it because, you just talked about Battlefield Hardline for $2, and now somebody might, who doesn't even have a PC, might go install Steam on their phone and go buy Hardline for $2, and then when they get their next gen Xbox, all of a sudden they're playing Battlefield in their living room for $2. And, I don't know. I feel like they're giving you options. You don't have to take them. For the person who just wants to use the next Xbox in their living room as an Xbox, I'm sure you're going to be playing the same games anyway. Like all of the Xbox games come day one to PC. So what's the difference whether or not it's a hybrid PC or not? It's giving you more options for games that aren't, like Dune, for example. Like, let's say you want to play Dune right now on a console. You can't. But if you have that Xbox in your living room because it's unlocked, technically unlocked, operating system, why couldn't you? May not run well. I don't know how strong the thing's going to be, but like what?
Right.
It's going to give you more
that's the part
games.
Like I was kind of getting at like a few seconds ago. Like, I don't really know what it's going to be like. Is it going to be like how it is now on the PC where, like on the PC right now, with the Xbox app, you can't install games through the Xbox app, right? You install them in Windows and then they show up in there.
No, you install games through the Xbox Game Pass app.
Not for Steam, is what I'm saying. It just shows you installed games that are on your system.
Yeah.
So if I want them to show up in the Xbox app, I have to go into Windows, go to Steam, buy it, install it, then go back to the Xbox app, refresh it, and then it shows up there. That's what I'm saying. So is the Steam store going to be in the Xbox menu or home app and you never go to Windows? That's the part I'm wondering about.
I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. I feel like, obviously Xbox is making their money not just with Xbox Game Pass, but putting their games elsewhere. And some people are just not happy about that because they felt like there was a console war and why I'm losing because now people can play Indiana Jones on their PlayStation. I can't play Death Stranding on my Xbox, so I'm mad. People are stuck in this like 7-year-old mentality of a console fanboyism. And I think that's where a lot of this comes from. If you guys get out of that like fanboyism shit and focus on the fact that you're now potentially having like an interesting, maybe a new living room device that could potentially be pretty interesting. Yeah.
And then there's Nintendo, which will never participate in any of this.
But they don't have to, and they never really get day one the same games, right? Like when, like a big game comes out, like it's not going to run on that as well. It's a mobile device,
Right.
But so CC says some Xbox fans feel like Microsoft is conceding defeat. I think if anything, they're puffing their chest. Like, we're fucking Microsoft.
They're not.
We're
They're
Microsoft.
Not.
Let's actually capitalize on being Microsoft. This is like...
they see the future. This is the future. You have to understand. There's no world where we're not... Everything's going to be a subscription. Just face facts, okay?
But you can still buy your games, and you can still buy your games on Steam.
I understand.
So don't sub to Game Pass if you hate it. You don't have to use Game Pass to have an Xbox.
But just think about music. I don't think it's going to be any different. And movies. It's the same.
Sure, but that's like something else. I don't think the subscription...
It's not. It's really not.
I don't think the subscription is what's bothering people here. People
movies
are mad that it's...
Movies and music are...
People are mad because it's a PC and not a console. So they're saying Xbox is out of the console race. Well, you know what? The living room consoles are dying and flat, and Nintendo did their own thing with handhelds, and maybe Xbox can do their own thing here with the PC, Microsoft space, and let's find out where it goes. Let's be like... I don't know. I think it's exciting for hardware as someone who loves hardware. And like, what are they going to do, John? Like you said, what's this going to be? How are they going to present this?
Yeah.
Will people pick this up as an extra living room PC? I don't know. I just feel like people are saying there's no reason to own an Xbox now. And I'm like, well, what did you think the reason was before? If anything, they gave you more reasons, not less. And I just still can't figure it out. I think it's some sort of weird fanboyism battle.
I do think the last year, all the games that we've been enthused about, I think most of them have been on Game Pass.
Game Pass has had a good run with a lot of popular games showing up there.
Yeah.
But Game Pass is only half the battle. Like, people aren't mad about Game Pass. They're mad that it's a PC and not a console. They feel like Microsoft is exiting the console race, but they're just redefining what it is because the old way a console was doesn't work anymore. Or it may not work in 10 years, and I think they're getting ahead of it. And Nintendo did that as well. They got ahead of it with their handheld device, which has now spawned a whole series of handheld PCs and docking, and let them do their own thing. I think it's going to be exciting. But that was the negativity coming from Laura Fryer this past week. Hello?
Okay, what else?
Why don't you tell me?
Well, the big news that came out today, which I kind of suspected and was talking about, is that the developer for Donkey Kong Bonanza, Michelle, has been revealed.
Your internet is like popping again. Close your browser or whatever that we talked about. Donkey Kong Bonanza. What about it? It was revealed.
Yeah.
Oh, the developer has been revealed. Okay. Well, we knew who that was. Super Mario Odyssey team. We've been
we talked about it being like a Splinter Cell or whatever, and now it's come out that no, it's actually the same team that made Odyssey has made this game. So
good. That's you have confidence in that team, so you'll be feeling.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fucking killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this.
And also, you wanted to talk about Nintendo reportedly pulled products, including Switch 2, from Amazon US because of an alleged sales dispute. Both companies deny the claims.
Yeah, so Amazon and Nintendo are not getting along, and that article said that basically third-party sellers were undercutting Nintendo by selling games from Asia on there. And that could be why Amazon had no Switch 2s.
Right.
And I'm wondering if Nintendo said to Amazon, listen, your place is a fucking cesspool, okay? We're not supporting it. We're just going to... So they go to Walmart and say, listen, if you do this right, we will give you all the Switches you want. And Walmart did go above and beyond with that release, right?
Yeah, with the Pringles and the soda.
The Pringles and the soda, having the drivers delivered to everyone's house before 9 a.m. and shit. Like, it was above and beyond.
Well, they capitalized off their service they already have at Walmart. Right?
Yeah.
With the home delivery. And they sort of said, look, let's get the drivers to that. And everybody who used Walmart has like glowing reviews for the Switch 2 delivery. So yeah, maybe that was a part of it, like pulling the big amount that was supposed to go to Amazon and making sure everybody had them at Walmart.
Right. I don't know. Do we want Amazon to fail now?
No. I like Amazon.
I don't. I use it a lot. But they seem to have like really not delivered on the gaming front the last so many years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. All right, what about Ready or Not?
Oh, I mean, this isn't a lot to talk about, but the developers of Ready or Not are kind of upset because their game is getting review bombed. And I did play this game. I know you have too. We thought it was cool, but because they had to sanitize the game to adhere to stricter console standards. And it probably wasn't a huge deal because they said people probably wouldn't have noticed unless they said anything, but they did make a statement. But I thought it was interesting how there are stricter rules on console for things you can say. I mean, but this game was like offensive to some people because there was like civilian deaths and things like that, like your hostage situations. You could shoot somebody, a woman in bed, whatever.
Right.
But as this Xbox comes out and it's sort of a PC Xbox hybrid, which version of the game are you getting? We could get into a situation where there's two versions of the game, and the one on Steam is like as the developers intended, and then the one on Xbox is like the really sanitized version, and maybe the player on that living room Xbox home console, whatever it is, PC, can choose which version they want to buy. Because a lot of the times the versions are different. Like I said, with Pal World, the Xbox version, even on PC, was an old version of the game missing a lot of features, but the Steam one had the latest features and all this stuff. If you have the option now to buy the game where you want and maybe a different version, once again, it's more options, maybe better.
Right. But the physical games that you buy at Walmart or Target, like they have the T for teen like rating and all that shit, right? So that's what it's going on here, right? And Steam, I guess I never thought about this. They don't actually do any of that. At all,
and there's
right?
also, I've heard just from people that
why doesn't Steam do that? It could be a matter of time.
It's also much quicker to push out updates on Steam. There's an approval process on console, and it does it once a week, so it has to be pushed out before a certain time. And Steam is rotating, and it's always up, so it may take months or weeks to get something approved on console when it can go instantly up. I mean, Blizzard sort of went through that when they were doing certain updates with like Hearthstone and some other game. I forget which one it was, but I don't know. It could get interesting with how that sort of which version you have, and did you get the Steam version or you got the Xbox version?
Well,
I feel like they may abandon the console.
This is an
background.
interesting question though, Michelle, because there's the ESRB rating, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Entertainment Software Rating Board, right? You have like everyone, teen, mature, adults only, whatever.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Steam adhere to any of that? Why is that not a topic?
Where's O'Malley to tell us, our Steam expert?
I mean, this is what's happening, right? Because Ready or Not can't adhere to any of these ratings, right?
Right. You know what? Maybe Xbox agrees to adhere to those, and it's optional, and they choose to, and maybe Steam doesn't. But yeah, that's weird.
But I'm guessing the retailers are saying we won't sell that game unless it has a rating on it.
Yeah, the physical copy in a store or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but why would a digital have a rating? I mean, as consoles move away from physical more and more, it may become less of an issue.
Yeah, so ESRB ratings are not mandatory for games on Steam. It does display these ratings when they're available.
But they're not required.
And you could use it as a filter, but it's not a requirement.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
I didn't read this article, but I thought it was Obsidian director Josh Sawyer says it's a mistake for RPGs to sacrifice crunchy, sweaty boy systems in favor of a one-size-fits-all game since easier difficulties aren't too hard to make. He feels like maybe things are getting a little too handholdy, sanitized, easy, and why not instead just have an easy mode and a hard mode as intended?
Right.
So as far as RPGs, I mean, I do feel we are getting away from that a bit more, but then, look at something like Dune comes out and maybe it's popular because it is so difficult and punishing. Yeah. Maybe people are craving that. It's
I'm
more
seeing
rare.
more games that have like a story mode, which that seems weird to me. like you don't even play the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
story mode's okay. I'm not. I think giving people an option is fine. Like that's my point.
It's harmless.
Like
it's harmless.
Maybe let somebody
right?
tinker with this. Like have a baby server where people can tinker with like server settings and maybe show it whatever. But I think the reason why it is doing well on the other hand is because it is so punishing because it feels more rewarding when you get shit done.
Yeah.
This is
because on the flip side, I believe if you have a vision, if an artist has a vision, and this is the vision, then that's the vision.
But
you
the
either
vision
play,
a lot of times is sacrificed for mass appeal. And I think
I know, but you play it or you don't. If you are going to stick to your guns and your vision, you should be allowed to do that.
I hear a little jingle jangle when you talk. What is that? Do you hear that metally sound?
There's a cricket down here.
That's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing that cricket. Okay. At least I thought maybe I was going crazy. Apple unveils a dedicated games app at WWDC 25. The app is called Games, and it will come pre-installed on Mac, iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV devices. We often talk about the sleeper in the room that we don't bring up, and we don't really focus on gaming. What do you make of this as somebody with an Apple TV?
Well, I kind of have this already on the Apple TV. Right?
Yeah.
I can launch an app on the Apple TV that shows me all the games.
Apple's gaming push in recent years includes mobile and Mac support for AAA experiences like Resident Evil, Death Stranding, Assassin's Creed, Hitman, or whatever.
I get it. So what this is the app that I've had all along on the Apple TV, right?
Rolling out elsewhere. Okay.
But actually, the app on the Apple TV is actually Apple Arcade, isn't it? Because
I think they're rebranding it. It's an updated version of Game Center, a service that Apple has had for about 15 years.
Been around. Well, that's how they do achievements.
But
and
they're redoing it, and it's all integrated. And I don't know. People are saying that Apple is still very focused on this push for gaming, but they kind of are jockeying on how to tackle it.
But how is this different than Apple Arcade?
Because the games, people are thinking it's setting up for more AAA type experiences on of games, and this is a way to service it. So Jedi's saying mobile games, no thanks. I don't necessarily think the future of games on Apple is mobile. I think it's all of these games we're talking about that go there.
Again,
Like,
this is what I've been saying.
Your phone is more
I
powerful
use
than your Switch.
Unreal.
Probably,
I use
right?
Unity.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Everyone's using the same tools, and all those tools can export to all these platforms.
Right.
Right?
As long as it's not like lowest common denominator holding you back anymore. But
Sure.
I mean, I feel like at this point, anything.
But if you
is
make a
running
hit
anything.
game like Hades or whatever, like that can go everywhere.
Yeah. And would you go, oh, that's a shitty mobile game? I mean,
No.
yeah, we got to stop. Like the lines are so blurred right now that we don't know what it could mean. So it may just, I don't know. People are saying it's not just shitty mobile games. They think Apple, I mean, they could be a player in the future if they get all these games and it's pre-installed.
Well, I
all
go on
Apple
my
devices.
shitty Apple TV and there's like Dead Cells is on there and Shovel Knight and all kinds of Sonic games. And like, it's not just like fucking Blockus or whatever, Bejeweled.
Yeah, you should go get that cricket and put him outside. What else is
that
going-
cricket's been down here for fucking 3-4 days.
He's eating the spiders. You
I
should
have
be
no
happy.
fucking idea where he is. I can't find him. And he seems happy.
He's happy. Let him live. The Expanse Osiris Reborn will take cues from Mass Effect and Souls games. I watched The Expanse. It was a decent sci-fi show. So there is going to be a new game, which could be good because, like, I don't know, Soulsy Mass Effect might be interesting. I forget who's making this, but who is this? I spoke with the creator director of the upcoming action RPG. I was hoping I could look up who did this and bring it up, but it's supposed to be like a Baldur's Gate 3 version of Mass Effect with much more difficult combat. Which, of course, Souls-like is just a buzzword people toss in now for difficult combat, but that doesn't always mean what a Souls-like game is, right? Unless you're dropping everything and collecting souls and using them to level up. Souls-like is sort of interchangeable with difficult now, I think. Looks like it's from Owlcat. I forget what they did. German studio. Owlcat Games. No, I've heard of them. All right, what other news?
I don't know. I feel hoarse.
Oh, they did the Pathfinder games and Warhammer Rogue Trader. Okay.
Gen Z is cutting back on video game purchases. Like really cutting back, Michelle.
Oh, what are they spending on?
I don't know.
Fake birthday parties they can put on TikTok?
Fake ones?
Yeah, they like set up like fake birthday parties, you know. They're probably like AIing in a cake and then they're like, you know, they bought an outfit. You haven't heard of that?
No.
They're living,
I don't know.
they're living fake lives and they're presenting them out there, which is not the reality of what really happened.
Well, I believe
they're
that.
spending on
Like,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Like they're I've heard, I don't know, they're spending on experiences instead of, you know, other things because they feel like the other things are not obtainable to them and they're out of reach, but they can get, you know, that Starbucks
Right, they can go
drink
out
for
and have like a
$12
shrimp cocktail.
Exactly. They can take a photo of them holding the margarita.
Right. And they're going to
that's-
take it in front
yeah.
of like someone else's like Porsche, you know?
Right, exactly. They're going to set up like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, their PS5 on an airplane and say it's a private jet, but then you catch like the corner of like a dude and it's like, you weren't on a private jet and it probably isn't yours anyway. But yeah, I don't care what they're doing. I care what I'm doing. I've never spent more on games. I don't give a shit. I feel like
they're not spending any money on appliances
We're all
and video
spending money.
games.
What are they buying? They're not buying anything good.
I'm
Bad
trying to
haircuts
figure
and
that out.
mustaches. What are they buying?
It just says the purchases for
ugliest
accessories,
clothes I've ever seen.
small
What are they buying? Dudes
appliances,
in floral
technology,
shirts? What are
and
they buying?
total general merch. It all drop with young adults.
Well, they're not
The drop off was enormous for 18 to 24-year-old gamers.
I don't know what these 22-year-olds are doing. They're like not dating anymore. They're not like meeting in person. They're not like communicating with each other. They're not doing anything together. They stopped drinking. I mean, I don't drink, so I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like nobody drinks anymore. But that was a social thing. It was a lubricant. It helped people get together. It helped relationships form, whatever. I feel like that's kind of weird. So they like don't interact in person. They're all like isolated. They're all like on dating apps, which are horrible and slanted towards women. Like, I don't know. I feel like that generation isn't spending on video games, but I also hear all they do is play video games and watch porn. So which is it, John? They're giving us mixed messages because like they're telling us that generation is in trouble, you know, because that's all they do. But on this hand, they're buying like, you know, experiences with margaritas on the beach with shrimp cocktails. So I don't know. What are they doing, John? Your daughter's in that age group. What is she? Is she buying games more than ever? Or what?
I'm trying to figure this out. I have a chart here. Okay. So for video games, they're down 25% spending.
Okay. What's that? Maybe because
What?
games are cheaper now, so they're getting more for cheaper. They just bought Hardline for $2.
But compared to other age groups that are not 18, 20 to 24, those groups are only down like by 1%.
Well, they're still trying to get their life set up. They need the money for other stuff, right? And
So
you're established,
the
you have
one
more money to
thing,
spend.
okay, so prestige beauty for them
Yeah, here's the problem.
is down, but not down as much as the other stuff. So what's down the least for them is prestige beauty and apparel.
Yeah, they're all into their looks and they're putting stuff on
Yeah.
social media. I mean, my neighbor, I was just talking to her the other day. Her daughter, I think she's 19. She's going to get laser and injections in her face. I think maybe her lips. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what part of her face. I didn't get into it. But the mother was upset and she's like, I can't stop her because she's 19. But these girls, they're at 20 years old, they're doing this shit. And it's all about skincare and beauty
But
and
here's the
laser
thing.
and the fillers. So they don't want to buy a game. They want to inject their lip with like collagen, you know?
Sure, but prestige beauty with 18 to 24-year-olds is down 10%, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But up 5% for the other groups
I think
that are
it's
not
crazy.
18 to 20.
It's
What?
such a I don't know. And like male body dysmorphia is about to overtake female body dysmorphia because like even men now are becoming more obsessed with their physical appearance as they feel less valued for what they're bringing to the table financially or, you know, stability wise as a man, right? So I think the whole society is fucked. Gaming purchases are probably a sign of it, John. They don't want to buy Donkey Kong, okay? Because they have
they don't
to buy
even know who the
shrimp.
fuck Donkey Kong is.
No, they don't know. So a 20-year-old doesn't know who Donkey Kong is. They have to go buy the shrimp cocktail on the boat, you know,
Yes.
with their so they
Exactly.
can impress, you know, the guy that's going to. I don't know. I think it's all.
They're going to
that's
go
gonna be
on
what-
some pier on the Cape with a shrimp
Yeah.
cocktail
What
and
are
say,
old
look,
fucks like us buying? We're buying shit left and right on Steam sales. Okay, we're spending more than ever on gaming. I feel like everybody I talk to right now is like, "There's too many games. I bought too many games. I
I
can't
agree
play
with
all
that.
these games."
I
Like,
still have
what
2
am I gonna
Switch
do?
games I haven't played yet.
Yeah.
Okay? This
So-
is a problem.
Yeah, I think right now gaming, I feel overwhelmed because I'm like, you know, even my week this week, like it was all spent on Dune or whatever. But I know we're doing Weeb Week next week. I think that's going to be fun for us, John, because it's going to force us to play something weird and different.
I'm
Maybe
going
you'll-
back to that fucking
Yeah.
demon game.
Yeah, we got a voicemail of a guy saying it's based on an anime and he thinks you should watch it. The anime may be like JJK or something or JKK. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't remember what it was, but like we'll play the voicemail. But he thinks you should watch the anime because it's based on that game or vice versa. So I like these themed episodes that sort of force us out of our like, you know, loop of the mainstream games, maybe to play stuff we wouldn't. So we're going to be doing that next week with Rye. We're going to, what else? Probably talk about an actual anime we watched. I have a movie lined up, which is apparently controversial. About
All right, so Gen Z spending trends for 2025.
What do we get? Why are you still on this? Who
Because
gives a shit what these idiots are
I
doing?
wanted the answer to this. Okay, so number
What?
one, they want value-driven shopping.
Yeah,
want
it's like
ethics
it's
and
looked down upon to be
ethics
rich
and
now or look rich. They
Yeah.
have like they're all wearing like rags that you know that were like
Yeah.
American Apparel.
Ethics
like,
and affordability. That's what they want.
Jujitsu Kajin. Thank you, Zabon.
Yeah.
JJK. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, John. It's like not cool to be what it was in the 90s anymore.
Greed is
right?
good.
When I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you know, kill the rich, eat the rich, and like, let's all look this way and do that. And
They want experience over possessions.
yes, that's what I was saying that I had heard.
Like burning down a courthouse.
Yeah, they want to. They all get together now and they protest instead of having some fucking fun and enjoying your youth.
Exactly.
Let's all scribble on fucking cardboard and pretend we give a shit about people in another
Yeah.
country. You spoiled fucks. Okay, yeah, that's what they're
Right.
doing.
Yes.
You know what? You guys want to help.
That's an
go there.
experience.
Yeah. Why is the movie I watched controversial, old school? Because it's about, I'll talk about it next week, but I forget the name, but it's about a girl in a wheelchair that like and a guy is like taking care of her, and a bunch of women on the internet are angry because they said like it's like the male fantasy of like being a caretaker or something. It was like it's so weird and twisted. Like I watched this guy's like breakdown video of this movie. The movie's a couple of years old, but it's seen a resurgence recently of women saying that like I don't know. I thought it sounded like a sweet story. You know what it is? Something about like the fish, Josie and the fish or something like that. So I'm like, oh, I'll watch it. It sounds like a sweet story. But some women are like, it's not sweet. This guy's grooming. This guy's like pushing her around and he's going to rape her. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what? It just, people are crazy. Everybody's, look, I've known this all along, but I think people are getting crazier, John. Would you agree that people are just nuts now? Yeah, and it's not
Everyone's
just because...
a fucking narc.
Everyone's insane. And it's not just because we can hear them now on the internet, because everybody has like a PC in their pocket. I really think people are getting crazier. I've known like people that were halfway sane. I didn't know them well, but now they're like legit batshit crazy. Like something happened to them during COVID or after COVID or the political, I don't know what it is, but everyone's fucking nuts. Okay? They are. So anyway, we're not going to go there, but we will talk about this movie next week. I want to find out if it's really as offensive as people are trying to make it out to be. It's probably a sweet love story about like a girl in a wheelchair and a guy who like falls in love with her. Who gives a shit? So we'll talk about that on Weeb Week, and we'll be back with Ryan. We hope you guys had fun. If you want to support us, let me clear up the confusion, John, because with our app, it is being sunset in the fall. We are going to have another service for you as an option on where to get our bonus shows in the back catalog. It will have an RSS that you can plug into any player of your choice. We're going to upkeep it as long as we can. You don't have to cancel if you don't want to.
Right.
We're going to carry it as long as we can, but it's being phased out, okay, eventually in the fall. So in the meantime, till the other service is up, or if you want to like move over now, a good place to support us is in our Discord, because there's more perks there. You get the weekly bonus shows, the ad-free VGO, you get a private chat room with John and I, and you also get an extra Discord-only show that's not on the app, okay, that John and I do every Monday.
Right.
And other perks in Discord, like more entries to our contests from CD Keys. And a lot of people have been saying you just get the Discord app on your phone, you long press, you download the apps, you throw them in your Spotify folder. It's better than the app anyway. So if you want to make that swap.
Yeah, and if you do have the Android app, do not delete it.
It's because John's still working on getting that back up in the meantime, and I've heard the new version of iOS may have issues as well. So the Libsyn
is not supporting the app anymore. So
basically by October, I imagine it's gone. But we're going to carry it as long as we can. We're still maintaining it. If you guys are enjoying the bonus shows and you don't want to do Discord, that's fine. But if you want to support us, it's a great place to do it, because I am putting in the extra effort. I put in 1,000 of our old shows on there. I'm putting on the weekly bonus shows for the people who support there. So if you want to say thank you or support us,
and you can also listen on the web browser still for premium if you go to I Love VGO. Yeah.
Yep.
So those are the ways to listen to the premium content right now. Apple app, Discord, and ilovevgo.com.
That's right. And we'll have more options in the future once we get set up next fall after our 20 years.
Way better options, by the way. We're going to be modernizing this.
Yes. I mean, the problem is we set this up so many years ago, guys. Our show is so old that we did this early on, and we know it's not, people are always like, where do I support you? What do I do? I want to go here, want to go there? It's like, it's all up in the air right now. It's going to get better, but a safe place that will always be there will be the Discord. And it comes with more perks, because Sups is funny. You show up every Monday, you start bitching. Today, Monday we talked like 15 minutes about you being mad about McDonald's. Like John talks about the most random shit on there. I just kind of let him go. And I'm like, what's he going to be pissed off about this Monday? It's always something ridiculous. Like he was mad about cheeseburgers and quarter pounders or something. I forgot.
McDoubles.
Sorry, McDoubles and cheeseburgers. Anyway, that's it. Find us during the week at videogameoutsiders.com, and we'll be back for Weeb Week.
All right, guys. We'll see you very soon. Video game.
VGO, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking game, yeah! VGO, fuck yeah!
Playing is the only way out.
Terrorists, your game is through, because you now have to answer to VGO, fuck yeah! So lick my butt and suck my balls, VGO, fuck yeah!
What you gonna do when we come for you, yeah? It's the streams that we all share. It's the games for tomorrow. Yeah.
Xbox, fuck yeah. Dude Bros, fuck yeah. Guns, fuck yeah. Explosions, fuck yeah. 4K, fuck yeah. Clippy B, fuck yeah. Battle Royale, fuck yeah. Doom, fuck yeah. Loot boxes. No, I don't.
Hey guys, what about Canada?
What's he doing
Canada! Fuck yeah! Here to drink maple syrup and catch moose. Canada! Flip yeah! We also play hockey and we got free healthcare.
Get him out of here, Matt.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up! This is a goddamn America song! Fuck yeah! Fuck! Fuck yeah! Fuck you! Yeah! You listen here, brother! This is fucking America! Get the
4th of July, guys. Thanks for listening.
Eat a dick, Canada.